Well, good evening, everybody. How are you this morning? Or should I say this evening? I don't even know what time it is. It is a beautiful evening here, though, in northern Michigan. And I thought we would do some mining today, but I am kind of relocating. So, I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, I really want to kind of head over towards CRUL1. So, actually, we're going to get started tonight, and I am mid-jump, which is very unusual, but I kind of thought we'd get it started tonight. Drac says it's time to blow chunks. Good evening, Drac. How are you, sir? It is time to blow some chunks. We're going to head over to CRUL1. I'm going to offload a couple of things. I'm going to reset the station as my as my imprint, and then we are going to kind of maybe hit the air and halo around CRUL1. We're also going to hit HURL3. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and kind of keep moving in that direction. And we will make it happen. So I had to put the Atlas drive on there for this particular drive. Drac says he's doing pretty good. What about that place you've never been before? Not sure what place that is, Drac. There's always a couple places I haven't been. HURL3 I've certainly been before, but not since 17.1 has gone live. And the Air and Halo is, of course, a place I visit from time to time, but I'm excited to do it at CRUL1 because it's they have a bonus there for Quantanium, 3% bonus for the refining. So it almost offsets all of the refining hit that you take. So a little bit different start tonight, HURL5 or something. Yeah, Drac, that's right. It is. I remember us talking about that. I think it was ARC-L5. ARC-L5 is pretty out of the way, right? If I were to find Quantanium there, it'd be kind of a treacherous trip to get that back to a refining station. So, ARC-L5 I probably would go down and look at kind of on my own time at some point and take a look and see if they have, like, I think we were talking about they have some kind of a C-type or a strange type of cluster somebody mentioned on the stream. But if I were to mine down that way, it would be a very difficult trip getting that back out to, some place or another. So, Pyro, good evening. How are you, sir? Nice to see you. And yeah, it's kind of a different time than I normally stream. Of course, I'm all over the map with life. And I thought it would be fun, though, to knock out a few a few Quantanium runs tonight. I think, like I said, I think we're going to hit HURL3, and we're going to hit the Air and Halo heading towards ARC-L3 from CRUL1. Yeah, Drac, a C-type that gives quant. It was an interesting, because in the Air and Halo, as we know, there's P-types, M-types, E-types, but then there's the Q-types. But somebody came on the stream and mentioned that there was another type around ARC-L5, which was a C-type that I'd never seen before. And it's, the cool thing is it's always interesting to learn where Quantanium is in different areas. But like I said, that's actually a very long trip to a refinery from there. It would be a very scary ride trying to go, 20 km or whatever, 25 km after you mine it. So I'm gonna go check it out at some point, but it's definitely not gonna be something I'm gonna do on stream. That's obviously a really good chance of blowing myself up. So Pyro says I'm not doing too bad, trying to get some sleep, going home in the morning, so I have a lot of traveling. I hear that, Pyro, for sure, and glad to hear you're headed home. That's always a wonderful thing, to kind of come off the road and get home. And so we're headed in here to CRUL1. CRUL1 is a place where I made my home for mining for months and months and months. Before kind of Lyria kind of became more the meta and ARC-L1. So this is just going to be like returning my own stomping grounds. I'm really excited about this. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, we're obviously going to check out HURL3. Sometimes HURL3 can have NPC pirates there and a couple of other things, so we'll see how that goes. We can always head out to the Halo if we need anonymity, but before I do any of that stuff, I definitely have to get into the station here, offload a few brants, offload a couple of other things, go in and set my imprint, and then we'll go from there. Pyro says, I'm looking forward to getting back into SC. Had an itch to play. Yeah. Now, earlier today, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I did do a stream of Sea of Thieves with my 11-year-old. I had a lot of fun. I mean, he loves Sea of Thieves, and he wanted to do some of that, and I thought, why not? Let's just set it up and have some fun, and I really did enjoy that today. So, a little bit different. Obviously, those boats don't have quantum drives. Completely different kind of game, but a lot of fun nonetheless, and I really enjoyed that. So I figured I'd sneak on and do a later night stream. Saw a little of that, says Drac. Yeah, it was, it's something, kind of funner, a little more arcade-ish. Really did enjoy it though, nonetheless. So we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how tonight goes. It's definitely going to be, it's a weird time to stream, and so it could be kind of a quiet night, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's a Sunday evening, and I don't know that I've done a whole lot of Sunday evenings. But, no big deal. What a beautiful day in Northern Michigan. Geesley, howdy. Sea of Thieves was fun to watch. Nothing like time with the... Yes, exactly. Really, really enjoyed that time with him today. He really likes that game. I mean, and it's funny because he kind of... It's only recently really got into it. So, we played it a little bit together like a year or two ago, and he just wasn't into it that much. But definitely things have changed. He's into it now, so... All right, we set that guy down. We're definitely going to want to do a good post here and get ourselves all fueled back up. I'll go ahead and turn these engines down and we'll back up. Like I said, we are doing just a quick bit of relocating before we go mining here. And this is me heading over to CRUL1. And so... I do want to go vehicle, and I do want to offload these brants. I wanted to have a few brants on board over here, just in case I lost, something happened and we ended up losing having to claim or whatever. So just kind of a couple of extras there, a couple of backups, and nice to have nonetheless. Now I will go in and set my imprint as well. Gremlin Vest, nice paint job on that mole. Yeah, going, hey, Quatsar, how are you, sir? Grem, how are you? Nice to see you guys tonight. Yeah, I like, the mole's got, that Aphorite paint job on the mole is tough. I mean, that thing is, that's a slick paint job. I do like that. It was 14 who graciously picked that up for me, and I've just rocked it ever since. I love that thing. I didn't have a subscription plan at the time, and so that's how that worked out. All right, pad 4, we're going to head down here, and we are going to... I don't know why I have this icon on there as well. It's kind of weird to me. I didn't die. So from time to time, you do get these weird icons. I almost wonder if it's like a ship resetting type of thing. I don't really know why that would be over there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to store this prospector for just a sec.
To the ASOP vehicle retrieval system.
And I am going to set my imprint, and then we're going to head out and do some mining for sure. Alrighty. He's like, I love how he yelled all the nautical, hard to starboard. Yeah, that's so funny. And Geesley also says he's had that bug lately, it looks like, with the, same kind of bug with the, oh, it's over here. With looking like you have kind of lost a ship or whatever. I think that's what it is. I think it's actually, for some reason, there's been some kind of a reset on the ship. Is it these over here? Oh, maybe they're just right when you first walk in. Regeneration. Yeah, I'll transfer my imprint here. Oops. Get that all done up nicely. Cool. And then, yeah, I haven't done any mining at HURL3. Now, a couple things that are cool about HURL3 is all the Lagrange points do have the new looking asteroids, the different looking asteroids, so I do enjoy mining there. Quadstar says, I've had the icons for other players' bodies a couple times. I wonder if that's what it is, too. for sure.
Welcome.
Well, I'm kind of lost running around
Vehicle
CRUL1.
retrieval
You
system.
know, I ran around it for a long time, kind of like, hey, which way do I go? Which way do I
Vehicle
go?
selected. Stand by.
All right, so I'm excited now. We're going to head out pad 4. We're going to head over to aUEC, and that's where we're going to start. And we'll have to see how that goes. Like I said, sometimes you can run into NPC pirates over that way. And if you do, you just kind of buzz out of there and go do something different. Now, of course, the Aaron Halo's over here as well. And I definitely don't have any problem going to the Aaron Halo. But I thought I would start out at aUEC just because I haven't used the new scanning mechanic there yet. And I have a feeling it might be pretty good over that way. So we'll see how that goes. You know, obviously sometimes you have a feeling and it doesn't always work out. But that's all right. Here we go. Jack says maybe the marker is to let the elevators know to eat. Yes, exactly. Maybe it's a mark that says, you know, the elevators have already ate me enough. Yeah, that's hilarious. Jack says, looks like the emergency response team maybe didn't get the memo about it. Because they don't know where to stand. Yeah, that's exactly right. Easily. Twice last week I had the icon with the word staircase tagged on it. Weird. Yeah, I've seen a little bit of that too. I mean, there's definitely been some wonky stuff going on a little bit, so no problem. We just kind of dance around the bugs and don't really. We try not to let them slow us down too much anyway. So aUEC is where we're gonna go. I do have the Atlas drive on this guy. I will kind of pull this down for a second. Yeah, I do have the 3 brands on board. I still haven't gone back to the FLTR-XL. You know, this is pretty common though, running in from H. So we're gonna run out to aUEC, and that's where we're gonna get started today. Off we go. Yeah, so twice last week, Aggies on that one. That's interesting. And I am excited to try this scanning mechanic at aUEC. Of course, I've had very good success with the Halo with it. But I have not gone to one of the Lagrange points yet and tried it there. So this should be fun. Relocating to CRUL1 it took a little time tonight. I mean, obviously, when I first logged in, I had done a cargo run earlier, so I had to take off from. It's so funny. I meant to start the stream a little earlier, but I had to take. I started out on ArcCorp. I'm like, nobody's gonna want to see me run around ArcCorp, you know. So then I had to take the tourist back to ArcL1, and I'm like, well, no one wants to see me quantum over to CRUL1, you know. Then about halfway through, I'm like, yeah, heck with it. We'll just turn it on and get it going. So, anyways, aUEC is where we're gonna drop out here. And like I said, the cool thing is the way that the asteroids look at the Lagrange point is far different than the way that they look at the Aaron Halo. The Aaron Halo is the old style. Lagrange points have the new style of asteroids, the newer style. So they do look a lot cooler, I think, at the end of the day. That being said, you know, there's always a chance here that you could run into NPC pirates, or outright pirates sometimes, but NPC pirates at least. And you have to kind of, you know, judgment's the better part of valor. Sometimes you have to kind of take off from there and deal with that. So hopefully we won't. Hopefully we'll be able to sneak through here and get some mining in. So we're just coming out of Quantum here at aUEC. Don't have the quickest drive on here. The Atlas drive I had to use to cover the distance between ArcL1 and CRUL1. So, you know, not a bad drive, but certainly not the fastest drive. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is turn this off. The next thing that we're going to do is actually get a touch more speed. Then we're going to V. And then I will just kind of do a quick 360 ping. See what we have. Just one little spot to look at there, which is no big deal. And then we'll kind of crank that guy in and take a look and see what type that is. Now, I didn't have my mining laser on, so that's going to be on me. There we go. Now we'll kind of focus this guy down and take a look. Chris Bates says, "What up, my peeps?" And And it looks like this one's not necessarily given up its type yet. Which is interesting. Like I said, I figured we'd try these Lagrange points a little bit. Let's see if we get any other, do another 360 scan here. And this may, there's something out there at 13 point something. So let's go ahead and focus in on that guy and see if we can get a, now that's a Q-type right over there, so that's good. So that's good. We know that Q-type's there. We're going to do a flyby in this guy, but that is a Q-type over there right off the bat. So, yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. Now, this is interesting. This is definitely an unscannable rock, right? I haven't had anything with it. So we'll kind of head towards this guy. That's the Q-type that we've seen, and we'll kind of back this guy off to 90 and keep kind of hitting it that way. And, yeah, we'll head over right over to this Q-type. Now, that's the second rock that I've, kind of, that I scanned, and it was a Q-type right away. So this, like I said, this could be very interesting. Now there is a station over there if you're wondering what's lighting up over. If you look right here, I'll kind of point right at it. You can see the ping kind of hitting it eventually, and it does look a little weird off to the side there. But that's a station there, and these Lagrange points are a little strange. Now, once again, just because we found something here to mine, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be, worth a hoot. So kind of closing on it now. And it's definitely not going to be a very good one. But you know what? It was nice to get a Q-type right off the bat. That's going to be, easily a 2%er. Yep, 2%er. Now, the cool thing about the Lagrange points, you can see they have all these kind of really cool clouds and how they look and all that. So it's kind of fun. All right, we'll do a 360 scan. Yeah, now we're starting to kind of get into an area where there's more opportunity markers. All right, nothing there. So I'm going to actually, I think what I'm going to do is this, just to kind of keep this, I want to kind of move this direction, right? So I actually think I'm going to set, even though I'm not going to ultimately head that direction, I don't think, but let's do this. I think I'm going to set like CRUL3. Let me set that as kind of like the place where I want to head towards. Can I do that? No? How about Hurston? Oh, it's weird. It's like it's not letting me do that at all. Well, all right, no big deal. We'll just kind of fly around and ping and go from there. No way to set. You certainly can't set something with something in the way in space. I mean. That's so funny. All right, so here we got another Q-type out here. That's a good sign. Looks like it's still a single rock, but we'll head over to it and check it out. So 2 out of the 3 scans so far have been Q-types. It's very interesting. I don't expect that meta to hold, but we've pinged 3 things and 2 have been Qs. So, of course, that doesn't necessarily mean that's going to be anything worth a hoot. We'll kind of keep this guy pinging to keep it honest here. So we're at aUEC, and we're out here on our first kind of run looking for something to put the mining lasers on. You can see we're closing on that guy pretty fast. Now let's go ahead and see what we have here. That could actually be a halfway decent rock. Yeah, that is. It's a 51, 22, 38%. So yeah, that's a great rock. So we'll move in on this guy, and right off the bat, we've gone to aUEC. We've pinged out 3 times. 2 of the 3 things were Quantanium, and the third thing we pinged is actually a healthy rock. So pretty good luck there. I just had a feeling this particular method might work kind of groovy. Now you can actually tell. I wonder if I can kind of get it under the sun a touch. Just kind of look. Probably not with the way the Lagrange. Yeah, a little bit more on this side. But these rocks look a little different than the rocks that are floating around, and they have a lot more detail to them when you get in close. Beautiful rock nonetheless, though, and we're going to make short work of this guy. And this is going to be a, you know, it's darn near, it's a 39%er, 5122. Beautiful rock, absolutely stunningly beautiful. And we'll get to work here. So great, right off the bat, got ourselves some excellent Quantanium. And so yeah, I appreciate, you know, all of you who tuned in earlier. I know that Sea of Thieves is an interesting, like, certainly isn't up my alley, you know, isn't something that you'd normally expect. You know, a little bit of a curveball, I guess. But, you know, my little guy just loves that game, and I thought we'd have some fun today with him, and that was really enjoyable. So probably going to do that now and then. You know, obviously, if that's not your cup of tea, don't worry about it. Heavens and stars, you know. I do think that, you know, I do think it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. And you know, if I can find things that him and I can do together like this, it's always such a huge win. So that being said, nothing's going to stop me from mining in Star Citizen all the time. It's what I do. It's what I love. And so, yeah, have a little fun tonight. Officer says, howdy, howdy. How you doing mining in Lagrange? I don't think I ever mined in Lagrange. Pretty darn good, to be honest with you. Very much enjoyed the fact that we got here. Uh-oh. There we go. This is what I was talking about, though. Yep, I've got to kind of move you guys. Hold on. This can happen in the Halo, right? So this is one of the things I was talking about, is this. Let me go ahead and get to, let me get the CRUL1 set. Okay, yep, that's just, all that is just an NPC. So, well, he's got my QT jammed, it looks like. And I'm starting to boost and try to get a little bit of, get a little speed. I don't even think I'm not sure if I even have, oh, hold on. I was able to punch out of there. So, you know, yeah, that's what can happen, unfortunately, in Lagrange points. And so I mentioned that on the way out there. Occasionally, you'll just get NPC pirates that will show up in Lagrange points. And so, nice rock we were on there, but you know what? We just weren't able to kind of, you know, I was wondering how that was going to go, right? That's one of the reasons why people don't do Lagrange points. Now, I've gone to aUEC probably 100 times and probably had pirates 5 times. But not since 17.1. There seems to be a lot more NPC activity. And so, you know, in that particular case, we got attacked by an NPC and we just punched out of there. So that's just the way it's going to go. And I guess we'll go back and hit the air and halo. And I'll go fuel up. We'll hit the air and halo. I don't even think I need to fuel up, though. We can kind of just... Drax says, so they just drop in and start shooting, huh? Yep, that's what he did. He just kind of dropped in. You know, for whatever reason, spawned right on top of me for the most part, kind of, and attacked me, started hitting my shields, and thank goodness he wasn't very good. Sandy Claus says, finally back at home with a stable internet. That's awesome, Sandy. Glad to hear that. That's very, very, very cool. So, yeah, we went to aUEC. We found, you know, a wonderful rock to mine, but we are unfortunately unable to do it because we got attacked by an NPC pirate. Chased out of there with our tail between our legs, and that's no big deal. We'll just go ahead and hit the air and halo and be happy that we can. But aUEC, like I said, probably in like the, I don't know how many times that I've been there, you know, I haven't seen that many NPCs, but what I can tell you is, quite honestly, is I've just seen an uptick in NPCs with 317 in general and 317 at 1.2. Toe Cutter says, I've had NPCs jump me at Shubin outposts. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely becoming more prevalent for sure, Toe. I agree with that. So we're not going to monkey around. We're just going to turn around and head right towards ARC-L3. And I believe if you go from CRU to ARC-L3, I think it's 13.5 is where I'm going to drop out of. think it's at 13.5. We'll just kind of start dropping it out at 13.5. Kind of see how it goes from there. I think it's been a while since I've done the CRUL1 to ARC-L3 drop, so we'll just kind of, we'll learn it as we go. But no big deal. I think it is 13.5 will get me in the halo, and that's, well, at least we'll start there. And then we'll go from there. So CRUL1 to ARC-L3 is how we're going to get in, you know, is how we're going to sneak into the halo. And like I said, 13.5, I'll go ahead and punch out, drop out of quantum, and see if we're in the halo. Go from there. Too bad that was a nice rock. That was a nice, it was a 51.22, so a mass at 38.95%. That would have easily, you know, I mean, not easily, but if it would have broke nicely, certainly would have been likely a, very likely to be a uni. But you know what? That's what happens. Drax says, if I could only transfer my sneaky snake from ED to SC, betcha them pirates would not be. Yeah, well, that's exactly right. I mean, you know, you could always, I could always, you know, fly an escort out that way or whatever, but, you know, and certainly that might be actually kind of fun for an organization night, you know, because it would have, people would have to kind of keep them on their toes a little bit. All right, so 13.7, 6, 5, no, that does not look very Aaron Halo-ish to me, so let's go ahead and just kind of look where we're at on the map here a little bit. I'm going to go a little closer here. So we'll try like, you know, 13.2 or something. We'll just kind of punch it a little bit. Maybe I'll do 13.3 just to kind of, don't want to go too far. Okay, nothing there. Let's kind of look where we're at. We're still not terribly far across the line there. All right, well, we'll spool it up again. I have not jumped from CRUL1 to the Halo since, you know, since Orison was introduced. So it's been a minute or two. So we'll try 13.1, and we'll just kind of keep just dropping out every couple of hundred. Hellfire says, hello, new to game and your videos and channel. Can I ask a favor? Could you create a playlist for your beginning mining videos? I'm having a hard time finding how to start. Well, that's an excellent idea. You know what? I should do that, Hellfire, and I definitely can look into that. You know, kind of getting them in some kind of a chronological order that could help you. That's a very good point. So, alright, so we're just kind of seeing, kind of punching out every couple of hundred and seeing where we're going to end up. So, we'll just kind of fall off right at 13 here and see if we're in there yet. I don't think so. No. Yeah, all right, I may have to Google it. Give me just a sec. I just want to make sure. We'll go to... I will Google it. You know, why not? Let me just give me a sec here. Let's see if I can find just a quick list of how to, you know, Aaron Halo points. I was checking Cornerstone maybe. In 316 is dropping out at 11.5. All right, well, we'll just drop out at 11 point. Maybe it wasn't. T. Dandy says, hey, how are you? Nicely. I'm doing great, Danny. How are you, sir? Stone Dog says, evening. Have you changed your FOV somehow? I have an ultra-wide Stone Dog, and I think that kind of messes with the FOV a little bit. Drax says, Google's is your friend. 11.5. It does seem like, you know, I will definitely drop out at 11.5 toe and see what it looks like there. For some reason, I thought it was at 13.5, but, you know, when I'm looking, this, you know, it does. No problem. No problem at all. We'll try 11.5 and see what it looks like. Definitely been a minute since I've gone to the halo from CRUL1, so let's see. 7, 6, 5, boom. Hey, we'll take it. All right, well, that's exactly what we're looking for. Some air and halo action. Beautiful. So 11.5 looks like it's a winner for sure. Let's go ahead and roll back. I'm going to turn back and look at CRUL1 because I definitely like to have... and we'll go ahead and turn this off, and I'll bring this speed limiter down to around this area here. And then we will pull out the mining laser, and we'll do a 180 scan, and we'll start looking. Yeah, thank you, Toe. I appreciate it, sir. I always know I can count on you guys for sure to help keep me straight. Not getting the reading on this first rock, no big deal. We'll just kind of look at the other opportunities we have. We're definitely not going to run into, there's a P-type. We're definitely not going to run into a whole lot of pirates out this way. So, alright, that guy's not necessarily showing me anything either. And I think we're probably actually going to M-type there. Toe Cutter says, I was out here a month straight from 316. I used to fly over to, keep it 100. I used to fly over all the time. I would fly to Crusader first. So I would fly here first and then line up on ARC-L3 and go in whatever distance I would go. But that changed after Orson got much bigger. I actually think I'm gonna still mark ARC-L3 even though I'm not, you know, I want to keep my back to the sun if I can. Alrighty, so we're just gonna kind of head this direction. And Nathan Whitney says, how the experience been throughout the well, Nathan, I mean, in all honesty, the servers have been a little choppy. But you know what? I mean, nothing to complain about. I mean, it's just one of those things. We always know with the free fly events and that type of thing that the servers are always a little more taxed and challenged. A lot of people get an opportunity to play. So, overall, though, I thought that Invictus has been a lot of fun. That's an M-type. And, yeah, I've really enjoyed it. And, of course, it's always nice to see new people come to the verse. All right, there's another nice hit out that way. Another M-type. We'll kind of keep just heading in this direction here. All right, beautiful. 12.7. The guy's going to kind of stay on this guy here. Now, what we are looking for Q types, and some of them aren't necessarily going to ping, you know, give us any kind of ping results at all. And when they don't, most likely they're going to be unscannable rocks. So we're not, you know, we'll ping them a few times just to make sure that we give them the opportunity to kind of give us, you know. But if they don't do it, they don't do it. So don't worry about it. Just kind of move on to the next ones. There's an E-type. And there's a Q-type right there. And that's more than one flash. So good. Q-types right off the bat. Not terribly deep in. It looks like it's going to be more than one rock. Let's go ahead and just kind of fly on in here and take a look. We notice that the sun's on our starboard side, so we'll pivot. We'll kind of pivot a little bit. Now I'll go back to, fold her back to 90 or whatever. Never a bad idea. That kind of keeps them out in front of you. Looks like it's going to be a pair here. And we're just going to keep on moving. There they are. We're moving in on them now. Gonna take our foot off the gas. There we go. 49.31 at 32%. Excellent rock. And what's this guy here? Not as good. So, this particular rock here, a 49.31 at 32%, it's not perfect. I mean, it's basically, 5 times 3. You know, so this is around 30, you know, around 32 SCU, around 30 SCU or so. Drag says, got to give him the chance to do the right thing. Exactly, that's for sure. And so let's just kind of, I'm going to roll this guy over here like this. I'm going to scooch over here. I'm going to put this UI here in the dark part. And the good thing about this one is when we start mining this one, we're certainly not going to be jumped by any pirates out here. So, you know, no big deal. Now, while this thing is kind of cranking up, I will do this. I will clear my route, and I will set CRUL1 as my route again. This way. Bang. And so I know that I have CRUL1 set. The other rock's a 2% or so, Drac. I could just tell by how, you know, how big the green window was. Just a blue cap over there, I'm almost positive. Certainly nothing to write home about. We can look at it here in a sec if we need to, though. Right after I break this one, we'll look over there at it for a second. Well, absolutely beautiful evening here in northern Michigan. Loving the weather today. It's was a warm day, but as the sun began to kind of get lower in the sky, it just became like a really nice, just beautiful weather. You know, a touch overcast, but that's okay. Quadstar says, for a second, I thought you said 52% quad. It made me sit up a bit straighter. No, yeah, that would quad for sure. Drac says, see how this breaks, then maybe tickle the other one for a bit of extra. I may, Drac. I mean, this is going to be right around the upper 30s, so, you know, like, we'll have to just kind of see how it breaks, and even if it's down like if it's a 2%er, it's going to be spread out over too many, you know, I mean, it's going to be spread out over too many things to worry about it. If it was like it's like a 7 or 8%er, it may be worth it. It's a good call, though. I mean, one of the things I know sometimes, you know, I've definitely been a chat has called me out a couple times, and rightfully so. It's like, hey, man, you could break that other one there and haul more away, and you're absolutely right. I remember one time I'm like, nah. I'm like, wait a minute, you're absolutely right. I will do that. Exactly right. It jumped up there quite a bit, but I rolled back quite a bit. Now it fell off, and I went right back up to the full. Stone Dog says, found a 49%er quant twice today. What's the max? It's 49 and some change, right? 49.99. That's the max, sir. You know that. So that's a nice 75%er there. What do we have in this guy? That's going to be nothing. So kind of looking at the other rock. Where was that thing at exactly? It's right through there. See it over there? Yeah, just a 2%er over there. So there's a 75. That's nothing. What's this guy? It's going to be a pretty good one. 100%er right there. Wow, this did break clean. So that's not going to have anything. That's not going to have anything. And I don't know that this one might not either. We'll have to see. No. So it's all in 2 rocks, which is great. I don't think that there's a third one around there. Let me just kind of swing off this to this direction. Nope. Beautiful looking rock. 100%er there and a 75%er there. So it's mostly there. So this is 690. That's going to be 14 SCU. And about 75% of that's 15 SCU. So it's going to be like, yeah, it's going to be around the 29. You know, type of thing. This guy here. Oh, yeah, 1209. 75. So we'll go ahead and break this guy down first. Beautiful. And we could potentially get them both broke with the same consumable charge if we stick to it here. We're just down at the 1 minute mark, so, you know, hopefully we can get this guy within another 15 seconds or so. Beautiful. All right, then this guy's next here. You want to kind of crank it up pretty quick. It is 43, 42. We try to get it in there before 30. Oh, wow, we really did that well. So 36, 37. Yeah, we really did okay on that. This is the 100%er. Grio, welcome to the channel, Grio. How are you this evening? Grio says, I use my roll and it's strictly for look solo. Yeah, you know, like the mole, you know, unfortunately right now is a little busted, so we can't use the mole with the extraction issue that's happening with the Grio, but, you know, I can definitely understand what you're saying there. Toe Cutter says, so gaming chair or normal? I do have a gaming chair, and I really do like my gaming chair a lot. I think it's a good one. I can't remember the type that it is. I have to be honest with you. I forget what it's called. Let me look at it real quick. I can tell you. An eWin. That's what it's called. It's an eWin chair. And I really have liked it. Now, I actually had to order a replacement part from eWin, and they were cool about it too. I think I like ordered it, and they actually ended up sending it to me at no extra charge or something. It was they're just like, oh, that part shouldn't fail, so we'll just send you one, which I thought was cool. So yeah, I do like this chair. I use a Corsair chair. That's cool. I didn't know, you know, I should look into those Corsair chairs. I like Corsair stuff. I have a Corsair keyboard that I just love. It's a cherry. It's very clicky. You'll hear me clicking on it quite a bit, Rio, in the background. All right, so that's a couple of big rocks right there. That's over 10 SCU we got in the hopper so far. Pull this guy in. That's 100% barrel, so that's not what we're looking for. Original Orazzle, welcome to the channel. How are you, Original? Original says, my son bought me the mining pack, but I haven't used it yet. Is it any good? Oh my stars, I would imagine the mining pack must be incredible. I mean, I would imagine it must be the prospector and the mole, and holy smoker doker doos, man, that's quite a nice prize. I mean, I don't know what the mining pack is, Original, for off the top of my head, but I'm sure it must be that. I mean, I'll look into it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the prospector's fantastic, man. You can print money with this thing once you know how to use it. And I love the mining loop, of course. It's what I do, and I do it a lot. So there's 24 SCU. And I think we've got a little bit more over here to go. So there's another hundo. This is probably going to bring us up to 27 or so, maybe. 27 and a half, and maybe this one more rock. It's got some in it. We'll see. There's another hundo. Absolutely beautiful. 29, 30, almost 31 SCU. There is this 10%er that's left. I am going to go ahead and just clean it up. It's going to maybe get us over. We'll have to see. It doesn't look like it's going to quite get us to 31. You know what? But we'll just take it. We'll go ahead and take that. That's a beautiful run. We'll go ahead and spool up the drive and head back to CRUL1. And we will absolutely love that run. Ah, the Prospector and the Expanse. You know what? Absolutely original. The Prospector's fantastic. This is the ship I'm in now. It's my favorite ship in the game. You'll love it. Drax says, your son can adopt me as uncle or something if he wants. An original LOL that. And also said, oh, so you have two Prospectors. I do have two Prospectors myself. Nathan Whitney says the Expanse, bad name. I would have thought the Forge would have been a cooler name, Nathan, myself. But you know what? What else? Oscar says, until the Expanse releases. You guys, I cannot wait for the Expanse to release. I really can't. Grio says, I'm keeping my eye on the Odyssey. Grio, I know what you mean, Grio. I'm keeping my eye on the Odyssey as well. So, hey, by the way, a couple new faces. If you guys wouldn't mind, like, sub. If you'd like to talk about Star Citizen stuff, Theorycraft, Minecraft, Minecraft, Theorycraft, anything mining on Star Citizen, do give it a like and a sub, and click the notification bell. You know, I don't have a schedule that I regularly stream, but you could always come on the mining channel and ask questions, and anything Star Citizen you can ask questions about. We're always happy to answer any of your questions. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I just want to mention to you, I know that this is a different time than I normally stream, but that being said, if you know, I really do quite a bit of Quantanium mining. And I always like to see new faces, and it's always great to see you guys out there. So, yeah, the Odyssey. Oh, man. You know, the one thing I wish the Odyssey did, and I know that it probably shouldn't. Astro Mech, how are you? Good evening. Nice to see you, Astro. You know, the one thing I wish the Odyssey did was I wish you could put the prospector in it, and if you happen to grab Quantanium, bring that back and let it take it. I know it probably shouldn't do that. It's the one thing I wish it would do. You know, because then it would be like if it processed Quantanium that way, then I'm not sure I would need. I mean, those are the only two ships I'd ever need. You know, Drax says right now I'm just keeping my eye and upgrading my RAM, so SE will run at something other than slow-mo. That's a good idea, Drac. Obviously, having at least 16 is really where you want to be, but I will tell you, making sure that you know. There is a jump. There you'll notice a performance different from 16 to 32 as well. Nathan Whitney says, picked up an Odyssey on concept sale. Will be interesting to see it in the verse. Nathan, I can't wait to see it in the verse. I do like the fact that the way that they have the... First of all, it's a very big hangar. It's deep. I do like the way that the ground-based hangar and the hangar that you fly out of are kind of, you know, they you can actually they touch each other and you can kind of, you know, go through one to the other. That the Odyssey's a cool ship. It is. Now, is it a Carrack killer like they said? I don't necessarily know, but I can tell you I do think it's a great ship. So, absolutely love the Odyssey, and love the whole concept of being able to be in deep space, and just kind of have the refueling, have the refining, have the, you know, all that stuff with you as you go is just fantastic. Rio says, I'm fighting with myself over grabbing an Odyssey or a Perseus. That's a very difficult choice, Rio. Now, obviously, the Polaris, the Perseus, those ships, once you start getting into those, I mean, they are, yeah, I could understand that struggle for sure. I mean, you know, and for me, Grio, I don't know for you, toss a Liberator in there as well. Toe Cutter says when the Argo SRV comes out, it's supposed to be able to tow asteroids, so you can kind of mine with it. Toe, I can't wait to, you know, we're talking about using the, you know, of course, all the tractor beams could be used in a really cool way where, like, you are stacking your piles of rocks that need to be picked up or scooped, prioritizing rocks, getting rid of the trash. Tractor beams are going to change mining entirely. It's going to be a whole other layer, whole other level. I just, you know, tractor beams are going to be so fun. So, all right, so we're going to call for a pad here. I am going to drop the gear and rotate the VTOL. Also says, Carrack will probably see a lot less flight when the Idris shows up. That's an interesting point, also, for sure. The Idris may invalidate that a touch, considering a lot of fleet orgs are going to use it as a command ship. That very well could be the case. Astromech says, the idea of deep space sounds insane in itself. I can't wait. Astromech, you and I are in the same. It's our 5-year mission. I agree with that 100%, sir. Nathan Whitney says, Polaris is one of the ones that I'm... Yes, the Polaris. Oh, my stars. Dustin, how are you tonight? Dustin, nice to see you. I just got a prospector. I'm lost, so I'll watch and learn. Major pointers, love the ROC mining. So, yes, I mean, major pointers are you want to have a Lancet MH1, for sure. That's, you know, for Quantanium mining. And you're going to want to, you know, probably a fairly forgiving thing is to start out with some Brandts, BRANDTs, and then just kind of go locate the rocks, and then start putting the lasers on them. But Dustin, if you watch my stream, you will learn how to Quantanium mine. It's, you know, this is kind of what we do. We haven't heard first alarm yet, you guys, even though it's you know, it's been a pretty healthy amount of time. So I would imagine we're going to hear first alarm any second now. You know, so as soon as I set this guy down, or before I get out of this thing, I'd be surprised if we don't hear first alarm. I've been taking it easy on the way in here. You know, not in a terrible hurry. Just want to kind of get this guy back to CRUL1 and get it in safely. Okay, bring this guy to a stop. Let's go ahead and just drop her. Cool. All right, we'll do a little post.
Landing complete.
Beautiful. Go ahead and kill those engines and back out of here. Grio says, I melted my carrot hoping to get a BMM during Alien Week. Woohoo, Grio. You know, yeah, man, BMM for sure. I hear that, man. That's awesome. Jack says, Lancet Laser is best for Quant, but they still work for... they work for the other stuff as well. But, of course, gems are more the ROC mineable thing. So that's a different... that's the remote ore collector, Drac. Patrick Heimbaugh, nice to see you. And excellent question. So Patrick's saying, compared to Eve, is Star Citizen better? Star Citizen is different, for sure. Now, I played Eve, Patrick, when it first came out, and I didn't mind Eve. I think Star Citizen is, you know, just crushes Eve myself, but not in a bad way. I'm not saying it's just, you know, like for me, Star Citizen is far more, you know, kind of, there's a lot more just individual skills that are required. It's not, you know, like, there's nothing wrong with Eve. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I think Eve is cool, but between the two, my opinion is Star Citizen is vastly superior. And I've been playing Star Citizen about a year and a half now. The mining loop is the most fleshed out, so I am a little blessed there. But, yeah, I mean, I love Star Citizen, Patrick. And I did like Eve, don't get me wrong. And I did like Elite Dangerous. And I don't hate on other games. I love computer gaming. But, you know, Star Citizen is, there's nothing quite like it once it gets its hooks into you a little bit. Also says they're so different you can't really compare them. The fact that Eve has been around a long time. That's another good point. I mean, different technology, different time. Very good point, Austin, for sure. Brio says, does the Odyssey not fit a Prospector? I saw a Reddit post. No, the Prospector definitely fits inside the Odyssey, but if you were to go mine Quantanium, like with the Prospector, I don't think you can offload it in the Odyssey. You know, the Odyssey can scoop its own Quantanium and put it in, you know, and melt it down, but you can't take the Prospector back to the Odyssey and offload that Quantanium into it. So that's the one thing that's kind of interesting to me, right? It's like one of those things where that would make it the perfect match, in my opinion. Now, I understand why they don't do that, and I know that that's a little bit of me just kind of wanting what I want in this world of Star Citizen. And that's just, you know, it's here nor there whether or not I'm allowed to, you know, get what I want. But if for some reason, if I knew that Prospector could offload its stuff in the Odyssey would have been a no-brainer for me. I would have bought it in a second. I wouldn't have even thought twice about it. Jaunty Chad, welcome to the channel, Jaunty. Not a name I necessarily recognize. Man, I don't know what happened, but I managed to stay in the server last night for like 6.5 hours, no bugs, feeling blessed, LOL, happy mining. Jaunty Chad, that's awesome, man. You know, last night, I know that, you know, the servers, people have had these mixed bags with the servers. It sounds like you had a really good experience last night, and that's great. You know, I mean, and I have a lot of that stuff happen to me too, Jaunty. Like from time to time, you just get lucky. You're on a great server, things just fly and are doing really well, and you know, and I have felt that blessing once or twice myself. You know, so I know what you mean. I'm happy for you, and of course I do think it's always healthy for people to have a good experience in Star Citizen just like that. So. That's a good thing to know for sure. So we're going to go in. The cool thing about CRUL1, you guys, is if I haul in a full 32 SCU, it's a 3040. But this particular station, it's got the cool 3%. Look, Quantanium is plus 3%. That almost offsets all of your refining costs. So it is a very cool thing to mine Quantanium here. And I will go ahead, and I'm just going to do the Dynix Solvanation. I'll get a quote for that. Look, you can almost see it. It's like I barely lost any yield. I mean, you know, like it's fantastic. It really is. Jaunty says, "Amen, brother." Yeah, man, for sure. Cool. All right. So we've definitely went out to the Aaron Halo. We got our first very nice run. I am going to go ahead and do what you should do here, which is. Always kind of, when you're in here, never a bad idea to kind of fuel up yourself. Now, one of the things I'll teach you guys, which you may have seen my video, you may not have, right? If you break the animation, you store the item. If you don't break the animation and raise it up to your face, then it will actually, you'll drink it. So let me just go ahead. That's lame. I have to hit store on that thing. Let me just do that real quick. I'm going to drop these ones. Drop item, drop item. All right, and these ones have. So watch. Here's what I mean, right? I'll show you guys with the So here, if I go, I'm gonna grab one of these. If I double click and it disappears really quickly, it goes right into your backpack. That's what it does. Like, you know, like you grab, there it is. I grabbed that calomel chocolate bar. If you just single click and just don't touch anything after you single click and let him raise it to his face, you don't break the animation, then you can actually eat the thing. But if you double click really fast right after, like as you're pulling it in, then you store it. So it's something I do like to show people from time to time. And so, yeah, anyways, Drax says Prospector plus Odyssey, break rocks with Prospector, clean it up, then suck everything up left with the Odyssey. Oh my gosh, yes. That would be so awesome. Duke says, the mole working for anyone? Nah, Duke, it's not. It's broken still, for sure. Gray Peter says, hi, Gray Peter. How are you, Gray? Nice to see you tonight. And for some of you new faces out there, for sure, do like and sub. You know, I love having you guys on board. And you know, I always use kind of a lot of quantum time or elevator time. I always try to remind you guys, when you guys do like and sub and hit the notification bell, it just brings more people to the channel and it's better for everybody. So it's so much fun having conversations with you guys. Dustin says, that's a nice tip. Thank you, Dustin. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you double click really fast and break animation, you'll store it. If you let it raise it to your face and then hold down the button, you'll eat it, you know, or drink it or whatever. But it is kind of nice to be able to quickly store things if you want to put a little bit in your backpack. You know, never a bad idea for sure. Quadstar says the calomeal's the best food in the verse. I like some of the burritos make me laugh. I think, you know, I always wonder about those. It's like kind of gas station sushi mode sometimes. You know. Nathan says, for food is best in my Carrick medical bed. You know, the one thing though, Nathan, that I notice when I use a medical bed is it doesn't solve the thirst or hunger issue. It does raise you back up, but then I seem to collapse faster because I'm still thirsty or hungry, even though I started out at 99%. So that's one of the things I've noticed myself. I don't know if it's a thing. It seems like it is. So I don't want to say that it is, but you know, like, I think it does get you back up to 99%, but I don't think it actually fixes the thirst or the hunger. All right, so we got the Atlas drive. Let's just go ahead. I knew we kind of had it empty here. I'm going to throw this Brant on board. We're going to save that, and off we go. Oscar says, ready meal chicken dinner. Yeah, that's awesome.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle.
We are going to grab this Prospector and head back out to the Aaron Halo.
Stand by.
Dustin says, purple drank, my fave. Both food and water go. Yes, they both do go up for sure, but I'm not sure that, I still think you're thirsty or hungry is what I'm saying, and that they go down faster. And that's just been my experience. I don't know if that's a thing or not. Quadstar says, that makes sense. Eating and drinking set the delay to thirst and hunger increasing. Maybe medbeds don't offer that delay. Right. It's like, I think it takes you up, it caps you at 99%. It absolutely does that. But I do think you'll go to 98, 97, 96 faster if you don't eat or drink, because you're not fixing the hunger and you're not fixing the thirst issue. Gray Peter says, I had just dropped a load in the refinery and thought I would look and see if you were streaming. Gray, I am streaming, you know, and I know it's a little, probably a little early, you know, for some people, a little later than for some people. You know, I thought I would do a little stream a little later than I normally do tonight, a little bit of a late night run. And I always like to do that because there are people from all over the world who watch the stream. And I like it when, you know, some people from, you know, the UK can get a little different time, or the people from Australia can get a little different time, or the people from, you know, Eastern Europe can get a little different times, you know, that type of thing. I definitely try. Drax says, still want a coffee, whiskey, bacon dispenser within reach. Yes, a bacon dispenser, absolutely. Coffee, absolutely, for sure. All right, you guys. So I could try HURL3 again, but I don't think I'm going to. I don't want to get a pirate on me, an NPC pirate on me again. So we're just going to do the same thing here. We're just going to go ahead and turn. We're going to look for a spot. Let's just kind of buzz on out of here. We're going to head towards...
Thank you, and please visit again.
ARC-L3, and we will drop out at 11.5, and that's what we'll do. And off we go. Grio says, perfect stream time for me. Love it, Grio. Thank you, sir. That's awesome. Gray Peter says, wow, the Halo is back. I've been mining lots. Yeah, it is back for sure. Once you kind of know the meta, Gray, there's nothing wrong with hitting the Halo now. It's actually, I hate to say it, it's a little faster than Lyria. I think that's where I'm at with it now. I think it's actually, you know, for the longest time, Lyria was just faster than the Halo. But I have a feeling that, you know, I think if we're just honest with each other, the Iron Halo has gotten faster than Lyria has. Now, you're still not going to run across those barn buster 8,000 pound 49% rocks. Brianna Joy says, ooh, the Halo tonight. Yeah, Brianna, how are you? Nice to see you again. And Brianna, thanks earlier for kind of hanging out with us on Sea of Thieves. I know my little guy was so excited that there were people kind of keeping an eye on us and watching a little bit. You know, and so we had a lot of fun today. So I just wanted to say how much we appreciated you stopping in and saying hi. That was really nice. Yeah, and I'm right with you, Gray. I think the Iron Halo has become sneaky good. It's really, really, really been a lot of fun. I've been just tearing up the Halo lately. And like in a way I haven't done in a long time. And it's nice to have that anonymity for sure. So 11.5, we're going to drop out of RL3. We've moved back over to CRUL1 because we love that 3% bonus. And we are just going to kind of kick it in the Halo tonight. Drax says, before you had to go, look at every rock in the Halo. Now you can look from afar and move on. That's exactly. You had to look at every rock before, and now you don't. 6.5, boom. All right, that will do it. Now, this is a pretty light part of the Halo, for sure, but you know what? I see rocks, and I'm good with it. So let's go ahead and we'll turn this up just a little bit. We'll get this guy out, and we'll kind of roll this guy, and boom. And there's opportunity markers, and we love it. 10.3. That's a Q-type right off the bat. So first scan of the, you know, come out of Quantum, first scan's a Q-type. Gotta love it. That doesn't mean there's anything worth mining over there, but gotta love it. So, Brandon Joyce says, Sea of Thieves was great. I wish I caught the whole thing. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Quadstar says that was a fun stream. We were really enjoying ourselves. Would love to see more of that. We are going to do more of that for sure. And I just want to let you guys know who are regulars on the stream. You know, if that's not your cup of tea, that's okay. I want you to know, I mean, I just have so much fun with my son. And, you know, it means so much to him to be able to spend a little time with Papa. And so it's just a good thing all around. So definitely going to do a little bit more of that in the future. And hopefully we'll find a little bit more modern game. He seems to like, you know, like Minecraft and that type of stuff. But Sea of Thieves is a good game. I enjoyed it. So. Osser says, I do miss the visual scanning style we had a while back. It was tricky, but at least something different. Fair enough. I can really appreciate that. There's its first, it just looks like it's a single rock here. I'm not going to fly right at it either. You know, Gray Peter says 2:37 a.m. here. The new scanning mode is great. I really do like it, you guys. I do like the new scanning mechanics a ton. Drax says, and it means so much to Papa to spend time with him. Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm sure you guys can hear it in my voice. I just love spending time with that little guy. Raphael says, what do you think about NPCs? How will they going to work in the game? I want to have a Prospector and a Vulture, and the Carrick and a Polaris as a third ship crew. Will it work? That's an excellent question. You know, I do think, and hold on for just a second here. Excellent question for sure. Am I getting any closer to that rock? I thought there was one. I thought it was that rock, but I don't know. Maybe I'm not. All right, well, it was a Q-type, and I must have lost it somehow. You know, I think your question is whether or not... There's a Q-type down there. I think your question, Raphael, is an excellent one, which is, will the NPCs be able to kind of man stations? Well, that remains to be seen. I think that that's the goal, Raphael. I don't know if they'll ever get to a point. I don't think we ever want SC to get to a point where, like, you're the single guy in a javelin, and you have all these NPCs running your javelin with you. I hope it never gets to that point. I mean, and that's just my own feelings about it for sure. But, you know, like, overall, I mean, I think there are going to be some blades or some AI that are going to go into some spots, and I think I'm okay with that, you know. Ultimately, though, I do think we're going to want to make friends. I think that's really the thing. You know, we're going to find that we have the most fun when we kind of make friends. Quadstar says Minecraft is not hard to like. Yeah. Definitely, I can appreciate that. So a couple of Q-types here. We're going to move in on. John Z, welcome to the channel, John. can you give a quick description as to what you're doing with these scans? Never seen this before. So, John, I would be happy to do that. What I am out here looking for are Q-type rocks. These are Quantanium rocks, and Quantanium rocks are the most, the thing that you can make the most money on mining in Star Citizen right now. Now, I'm looking for rocks that have a mass of around 4,000, and are about 40% Quantanium. And if you look, that's a 2% Quantanium. It's in the lower right-hand side of the scan results. It's the red number, the Quantanium number. And this rock's not going to be much better. It's also going to be a 2%er. So not great rocks here. So if you notice here, I've got my mining laser out. I'm actually going to set my scan angle back. It's this big red number on the left-hand side of the UI. This is 179. And I'm going to send out a ping. And that's going to give me some returns, right? And these are called opportunity markers, or what I like to call them. Then if I close the angle down to 2, and I go ahead and I scan it again, by pinging, there are many times that it will actually tell me what type it is. What you can see how on the scan results on the right-hand side show me it's an M type? That's a type that I'm not looking for, right? There are M types, E types, P types, and that just means they have different rocks in them. I'm looking for the Q types. So the Q types are the ones that give me Quantanium, and those are the ones that actually contain them, like something that's very lucrative to mine in Star Citizen. I hope that's a good, example, John. But I can, certainly go a step. I can go get into the weeds deeper if you want me to. Also says, I have a feeling a lot of people will sell their Javs when they realize they cannot feasibly crew them. It will be interesting to see. I hope it doesn't really get that way. Chris Bates says, yes, NPC man stations are planned. At least for medium to large ships, and I'm okay with some ships for sure. Like if you have, I'm okay with it up to a point for sure. I just hope that like it's not too over the top, But mostly I just want people to have fun. I mean, if that's, I never want to be the guy who's like being some kind of a block to whatever anybody else wants in this game. I know what I want, and I'm okay with people wanting what they want. That's for sure. So. Quadster says, actually make good use of the Jav, you kind of need 200 concurrent players. Yeah, you would need a lot. That's exactly right. So, all right, so we're just going to kind of keep looking here. We haven't seen any other Q types. John says, yeah, that was great. Thanks for the info. That's awesome, John. I'm glad that helped you out, sir. And I don't know if if you play a lot of Star Citizen or not, but this is Star Citizen. And really fun game. Love it. That's an M type right there. And what about this guy over here? That is an E-type, so we're going to keep on looking. Kind of a quiet part of the Halo where we fell out here. Ooh, lots of opportunity markers out there all of a sudden, though. Raphael says, some engineer and some gunners in a ship, but the maximum efficiency will always be real players. That's a good way to put it, Raphael, for sure. You're probably right. Maybe what it is you'll be able to fill some of those holes, but they won't be as good as, say, an actual player. That's an interesting thought, and one that I really do like. Griot says, I just want a robot to shoot my guns because I'm pretty bad. Fair enough, Griot. Drax says, that's an issue I run into when I get in the game. There ain't that many people likely to match my online schedule, and I understand that. That makes sense, Drac, for sure. Quadster says they always said NPC crews will never be as good as a player crew, and that makes sense as well. I think we all can agree that a player crew should be better. Brianna Joy says the NPCs I doubt will be as good as a real player. Yep, that's what we're talking about. They think the blades would likely to be very simplistic, but the NPC should be That's an interesting point. It would be cool if like the blades were a certain level, the NPCs were a certain level stepped up, and they have their own categorizations. Yeah, I love that idea. That's a really cool idea. And then John Z says, yeah, I run a prospector, and that's definitely going to be saving me. Oh, John, yes. This will definitely save you tons of time. Now, I've kind of gotten myself into a pretty soft part of the Halo here. There's not tons of opportunity markers. But yeah, this makes the Halo way... You have to have the laser out, though. That's the one thing. You do have to have the laser out. That's a P-type. And you just got to change your, change your angles a little bit. And yeah, there's a Q-type right there. We'll head right to this Q-type and see what we get. Now, what? I must not be moving that fast. There we go. We'll go and pop that guy back out. And we'll pull this back to a 90 degree and just kind of keep that on our keep on that guy. Raphael says that quad stars, and in the end, most of the people want to have their own ship, small, medium, or large NPCs as needed. Yeah, and Andreas, good evening, Andreas. How are you this evening? Sandy Claus, what's new? Well, Sandy, I don't know if you know that I don't know if you've seen the new kind of scanning mechanic here for, you know, for the Aaron Halo, but that's kind of been a little what's new. All right, that's just a single rock, so we're just going to kind of fly up and it looks like it could be a halfway decent one. We'll have to look. Very nice rock, you guys. So here's a beauty, a 4631 at 47%. Absolute beauty. Love this guy. We'll go ahead and we're going to roll over this way. We're going to set the UI in the dark, right? And we are going to mine the heck out of this guy. This is a nice rock. Holy smokes. 47%er, 4631. Hanging out here in the black. Just wanting me to mine it. Dustin says, how do you pull back and forward? When you say that, degree-wise, it's going to be default keys are going to be the greater than and less than. The two keys that are to the left of your right shift, you know, they have the period or the comma on them as well. That's another way to look at them. Sandy Claus says, jumping into your server if you need anything. Thank you, Sandy. Appreciate that. Andrea says, didn't have a good mining today. Only 2 rocks, more than 5%. Andreas. Oh, my stars in heaven. One had a lag spike and blew me up. The other one didn't make it back to the refinery. Oh, no. Andreas. That's you know, I've had days like that, sir. I understand how that goes. It's yucky. Greg Peter says, I found some nice single rocks lately. Yeah, man, this is a beaut right here. 47%er. 4631, so nice easy break, you know, and half, you know, 47% of this rock's Quantanium, so I'm not gonna complain. But Andreas, I definitely have had days like that, sir. And you know, I'll tell you, you know, you and I, Andreas, are definitely gonna have to get out there one of these days and do some mining together for sure. Dustin says perfect TY, love it. And I did roll back a little bit as it was getting into the optimal. I thought, well, let's go ahead and. It's a 1.92 instability. You know, and it can fall out. I had a little lag spike there, so I kind of had to bump it a little. Grabbed it up again, so just kind of working it back and forth. Don't want to necessarily have to expend a brand on the big break if you don't need to. Looks like we're holding in there pretty good. It is kind of jumpy, I'll be honest with you. Which is no big deal. Boom! Alright, that's a beaut. She broke kind of interesting too, like we'll just go ahead and she's just a single rock out here in the black. That's 100% inert, that's a good sign. That is going to be an 850 at 100%, so there's 16 SCU. Beautiful. Gotta love that. That's going to have nothing in it right there. Andrea says, I'm pretty sure the bad luck was due to the loss of the Aphrodite paint job. Oh, interesting. Did a character reset to refit my prospector. We'll do another run before, but I have a feeling you're going to do another run. It's going to just go awesome. So, you know, Gray Peter says, I map the up and down to my mouse wheel. It makes it easy and quick. That's an actually, Gray Peter, what you said there is exactly what I did as well. I remapped that scan angle to my mouse wheel when I hold down the left alt, and it makes it so much easier to deal with. So I agree with that, and Gray Peter, that is excellent advice. Andreas' rocks are super jumpy recently. They are a touch jumpy recently. I'm going to kind of roll around and put this guy on my back. The sun I'm going to put on my back. Cool. Oh, and one thing I do want to do is let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just clear that route. I'm going to reset the route to CRUL1 as well before we kind of get started here. So I've got a couple of hundos here. That's a hundo. That's a 65. And I think there was one more that was a hundo over here. Not that guy, not that guy. That guy right there. So there's my 3 rocks, right? That's right there's 14 SCU. Right there's 16 SCU. And there's the rest of it in that one. So, you know, should be a uni here if we get lucky. So left Alt plus mouse up, left Alt plus mouse down. That's exactly how I do it as well, Gray. You know, Peter, and that's exactly how I recommend doing it as well, for sure. All right, we fired a brand, and let's just kind of keep it nice and clean here. Beautiful rock. Definitely an opportunity for a unicorn here if we take our time and do it right. Andrea says, I have to credit V for using brands in my builds. Now, brands they just make it so much easier, you guys. I mean, it's just, call me lazy. They just kind of make, you know, they make dealing with, you're far more efficient. That's just my own attitude about it. Heck, you know, so many people come to the channel. I love mining because it's thick with layers. Lots of people have different ideas of what they think works for them. I love the fact that there's different meta in it and people can kind of do what they want. The brands work for me. I love them. And especially if I'm going to be out here in the Halo. You know, I definitely don't need anything to crack bigger rocks. So it's just, you know, brands all day. Exoteric. Nice to see you, Exoteric. I just tried SE again. Bad time to come back. You know, the servers were not great, Exoteric. They just weren't great this week. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm sorry to hear that you didn't have a good experience. I will tell you, honestly, in 3.16, the servers had never been more stable. I definitely would understand, though, if you just came back, why that would, you know, necessarily it'd be hard to believe that it was, you know, it was so good. But, you know, Exoteric, if this is the week you chose to come back and you had some kind of some servery issues, I could see how that definitely could happen. And, you know, sorry to hear that for sure. All right, so we got one more rock to break here. Hey, trying to sneak up there and jump up into the overcharge. You see that? Sandy Claus says, bah, brands. Sandy. You know, Sandy, I love my brands. I hug them. Put one on the pillow next to me, and I mean, these things are great, man. They always save my bacon. There would be a lot if brands didn't exist in this game. Drac would be seeing a lot more explosions happening. I'll tell you guys that much. All right, so second 99%er, we are going to switch over to. You know, we know all these are going to be really solid. We are going to be discerning on the laser with the ones over to the port of these, just a little to the left. That's a huge rock. It's a 5 SCU. We're right out of the gate. This guy's not going to be any different. Andrea says 3.17 isn't the best ability-wise. It just hasn't been. You know, and guys, can we all... Like, I don't know what your experience in 3.16 was, but I thought 3.16 was some of the most stable SC plane I'd ever had. But I will tell you, I think they ran out of time for Invictus. They had to kind of push 317. I really am glad they decided to go kind of with the longer thing for the 318. I think it's the right move. You know, and it's too bad to bring people in on a free fly that, when it's you're not having the best server experience. Sandy says 2 VA UXC3s, 1 filter or optimum amount of prospector. I understand that for sure, Sandy, and I know that's. I love the fact that everybody gets their own to choose. Great Peter says, I checked the RSI status page. It says persistent universe degraded performance and electronic access degraded performance. I didn't even realize that was a thing, Gray. That's an interesting thing that they're acknowledging that their performances is not quite where they want it to be. So that tells you right there kind of where they're at with it. Good find, Gray, for sure. Okay, so that's going to be another fat, juicy 308. 100% Quantanium. That is 6 SCU sitting right there. Yum, yum, yum. We're gonna chop that guy right there for sure. Beautiful, beautiful rock. We just got to be careful now with the laser. We don't want to monkey around here. We just want to find the hundo over here. That's not it. Find the hundo over here. And let's yep, there, that one is it. And let's see if that kind of hits us out there. Ding, ding, ding. 32 SCU of Quantanium. Beautiful single rock. We're going to go ahead and just back away. And we will go ahead and spool the quantum drive. We're heading back to CRUL1 with an absolute uni on board. Ding, ding, ding. I need to get a bell, you guys. I definitely need to get a bell. Every single... I need to get a sound effect is what I need to get, so I can just reach over to the Steam Deck and push a button. You know, and every time we get a unicorn on this channel, because that is a unicorn. Love it. So happy. You know, you get so happy when you get a uni. Ding, ding, ding. Exactly, Drac. Exoteric says, I tried it out 2 years ago. I got a great PC, but couldn't get the GPU, so I'm playing through Shadow. And SE doesn't even recognize my stick. Server troubles are on top of my long list of troubles. I see, Exoteric. Yeah, I can definitely understand where some of those, like the services that you connect to, and I can understand all of the graphic card struggles for sure. This has been a terrible 2-year drought for, and I think we're starting to see some of the pressure lift on GPUs. Certainly there are some that are coming down to MSRP. I think that pressure is going to continue to lift. Steal the bell from your son's ship? Yes, I know. I definitely need to do that. I need to steal the... I should actually sample the sloop bell, you know, from us. You know, and it's so funny, when we were driving over to a graduation party today, we decided the next time we do this Sea of Thieves, we're going to call it Stream of Thieves. So look for that in the future. Greg Peter says, a thing I found weird is on the refinery stations, I get a lot of flashing lights that look like neons. Yeah, that's for sure. So, yeah, Exoteric, circling back to what you were saying, I could understand, like, going through, like, one of the services that give you better kind of graphical performance and not necessarily having kind of the straight peripheral support, you know, the stick recognition and that type of thing. I could imagine layer after layer after layer, you know, that could be a frustrating experience. So sorry to hear that. What I can tell you is you know, I hope that you're able to grab yourself a decent GPU. I want to play so bad, but broke old engineering student played E for 12 years before giving up. Oh yeah, you know, like you're just gonna want to chip away. There's gonna be a ton of used GPUs, you know, that are going to be really fair priced. I mean, obviously you want to find a seller that you're going to be comfortable with, for sure. But, you know, hopefully you can kind of chip away at the pieces and parts you need and go ahead and find something that will allow you to kind of play natively, not through one of those services. I think you'd have a far better experience that way. So, all right, we came out of Quantum. We're gonna kind of, you know, re-spool here. We're gonna get a second Quantum going. The Atlas is ready to go, and off we go. All right, so definitely not pointed directly at the station. We want to kind of peel this guy up. Come in somewhere between 350 and 400. You know, right in that area, 403. That's absolutely fine. I'm a space nerd, can't help it. I need to play some SC. I understand that 100%. I was just saying, Exoteric, you know, Star Citizen has done this amazing job. I don't know another game. I know 3 or 4 people over 70 that play Star Citizen. I don't know another game that has ever done that. I mean, it is a fantastic, fantastic game when you can have such a great older community that just love playing this game. I'm definitely one of them. I'm not quite that old, you know, I'm going to be 50 this year. But you know what? It's just a beautiful thing having so many of just a very mature player base, and I think it's great. And yeah, I mean, Star Citizen does that thing. Mr. Azai, how could you possibly do that to me, sir? That is awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Azai. Of course, all that stuff goes right back into the channel. I'm learning some Adobe Audition, some Premiere. I really want to have my content do better. When did I get those? Ha ha ha. Not terribly long ago, Mr. Azai. They kind of granted me the power recently to have those. And it's so kind of you, man. I truly do appreciate it. You know, it's that little dollar icon down underneath the chat or whatever. And so that's what he clicked to do that. And yeah, that is awesome. I really do appreciate that. Those are anytime I get one of those, I'm absolutely putting it back into the game, some way or another. So just an absolute thank you, sir. I truly appreciate it. Excellent coffee. Yes, Exoteric says, so, oh yeah, the game is gorgeous. I may not be able to fly with my setup, but I want to run turret support. Yes, you absolutely can. That's a great way to look at it too. If you don't necessarily have the performance that that would work out fantastic for you, why not turret for somebody else? It's a great idea. All right, so we haven't even heard first alarm yet, you guys. We're going to go ahead and do a post-flight here. I'm going to continue to thank Mr. Azai for all of that. That's just fantastic. Thank you, sir. And we are going to, we got a post-flight going. I am going to go ahead and turn off those engines, and we are going to go store this guy and throw this unicorn into the hopper. So, couple of things I will mention. Make sure that, for all of you new folks out there, make sure you do like and sub. That definitely brings more people to the channel. I always like to mention Spectre Fleet, the SpectreFleet.space. The link is in the description. If you're looking for an org, we're always looking for people. And you don't have to just mine. I mean, as a matter of fact, mining is just a small part of what the organization does. Honestly, there's all sorts of other specialty ways that you can go. NPCs and like FPS, kind of first-person shooter, air-to-air, space-to-space combat, that type of thing. Yeah, and so always, if you're always looking for fun people to play with in the verse, you definitely know that you can find those people over at Spectre Fleet. So, I always like to use a little bit of the time, a little bit of the kind of the elevator time for that type of thing. So we'll just kind of keep it moving. Grave Digger? Grave, how are you tonight, Grave? Nice to see you. So I started using a HOTAS, and it's great for mining. Got a slider to use for the laser power. It's so smooth compared to the mouse wheel. Grave, I can really appreciate that. I've been kind of reluctant myself to switch over to a slider like that, but I should try that, Grave. It's nice to see you tonight, Grave, by the way. Sandy Claus says, why do I have 4 moles? Sandy, that's a thing. Yeah, that's new. Yeah. Chris Bates says QuantCalc. Yeah, I should mention QuantCalc. There is a link in the description for QuantCalc. That is a $1 Google app that gives you a quick readout of how much SCU of Quantanium is in a rock. It's in early release. We are bringing it to iOS, but right now it's in Google. It's only a $1. It goes to just help our Discord offset some of the costs for our for our organization, that type of thing. Exoturret says average turret support is better than crap type Avenger pilot. Exoteric, I think there's also something to be said, though, for getting experience like that as well. Did I click lobby, you guys? I don't think I did. I'm trying to get my prospector blown up. Grave Digger says, I got 1.2 mil in the refinery so far tonight. Grave, that is fantastic. St. Stephen says, are the moles able to extract now? St. Stephen, I'm sorry to report they cannot yet. The moles cannot. That's a no. Cannot extract yet, so... It's a tough thing. Hopefully they get that fixed sometime soon. So yeah, we're gonna go down here and throw this unicorn run into the hopper here.
Welcome to the
right.
aSOC vehicle retrieval system.
And who knows how long I was sitting in there. I mean, hopefully I get this. Let's get this guy stored. All right, that's awesome. Got that guy stored. And we're not related to the Spectre Fleet that came from Eve. Nope, it's a different group. Great Peter says, I've got 3 600Is and 4 85Xs. Yeah, Sandy, that's a thing. Sandy, what's wrong with the moles? Excellent question. The moles the extraction laser's not working. So, yikes. That's just what's wrong with them. Grave Digger says, I'd have 2 mil in a refinery if I had the mole. I hear what you're saying. The extractor's broken, that's right. St. Stephen says, I pulled 2.3 M out of the Halo last night with my Prosi. The new scan meta is so fast. St. Stephen, we were saying that earlier tonight. I honestly, in my heart, now that I've been mining now for a good week at it, in my heart of hearts, I can tell you, I think the Aaron Halo is now faster than Lyria for mining Quantanium. It's maybe a touch of a hot take, but I just have had a better experience with it. I think it's, don't get me wrong. I find rocks good on Lyria. I just have been finding them faster with this new scanning mechanic in the Aaron Halo. So that's kind of where I'm at with it as well. Duke says, miss mining. Thank you for giving my fix. Just don't know if I can go to a prospector after mole mining. Duke, you can do it. Go grab them. Go grab the prospector. Enjoy it for what it is. It's a beautiful canopy. Throw a a lancet on it. Throw a couple of brands on it, and head out to the Iron Halo and go do it. You got this, man. I know you can do it. Yes, and I can understand. You'll always run into those spots where you're like, well, if I had the mole, it would have just gone. This would have gone way better. But just do it, man. You'll be all right. Dig her out. So here's what I look at this, you guys. The yield, if it's 30-40, like if I'm at ARC-L1, if I bring a 3200 in, it's 30-40 is my yield. So really, an interesting 90 more yield. When you're at CRUL1. Now 90 doesn't sound like a lot, but 90 times 88 is actually quite a bit of money. So to be honest with you, lots and lots and lots of these runs in CRUL1 will make a huge difference. Less ladder climbing in the prospector, that's true. How's it faster? The cluster meta? No, it's not the cluster meta, Sandy. It's that if you watch here, I'll run back out to the Halo again. You can actually figure out what types of rocks are in there. I don't actually need to fuel up. I'm 100% there. You can, Sandy, if you watch the new scanning mechanic, you can actually, when you have the mining laser out and when you angle your scanner correctly, you can actually see what type it is. So for 12.2 kilometers away, you can see a Q type, and that's Quantanium. So it makes it a lot faster for sure. So we'll hopefully not get too beat up by the elevator there. We didn't. Gray Peter says, we'll have to hope they don't stuff up the Halo in the next update. Gray, that's an excellent point. Obviously, let's just enjoy it while we can. I love Iron Halo mining. Of course, I adore Lyria mining as well. But it is kind of a nice, for a while, it's just like, why would I go anyplace else besides Lyria, And really, it's the truth. Now, I have heard, and I haven't confirmed it myself, it doesn't necessarily matter to me because the weather's so terrible, but I have heard the Microtech moons also now have it. If it's a cluster, it's Quantanium. I have not confirmed that. A couple people have mentioned it to me here on the channel. But, of course, it's so windy there. Heck, I don't know that it necessarily matters. Clio, Euterp, Calliope, Microtech, the weather's so goddamn weathery, to be honest with you. I don't like mining there. The prospector gets blown all over the place. So let's do a little bit of a pre-flight. We'll head back out. I want to show Sandy and anybody else who's interested the scanning meta for sure. Let's go ahead and make sure we're Brant. We're good there. Brant. I still haven't switched back, unfortunately, to the FLTR-XL since I lost a couple of loads.
Retrieval system.
Mr. Zai says I'll have to scout and let you know sometime. That would be awesome, sir. Yeah, for sure. We'll go ahead and retrieve that, and we'll pull this guy, and off we'll go.
Your vehicle has been
Pad 4. All right, let's just go ahead. We see it down there. Good. All right. We'll head out to Pad 4, and we'll head back out to the Iron Halo and do a little bit more for sure tonight. So loving it. No hurry tonight, really, you guys. Just kind of going to enjoy it. Hopefully, obviously hoping when you stream at different times, the goal is there are a lot, one of the things that has really been an enlightening thing for me is I do get people who watch the stream from all over the world. So I've been trying to stream sometimes in my morning, sometimes in my afternoon, sometimes at night. I don't get to as much late at night. So I definitely am hoping to get in. Dad Boy says, more stream at these. I got you, Dad Boy. I hear what you're saying. But yeah, I've been trying to kind of mix up the time so different people can catch a live stream. So leaving Area 18, headed to the Halo to see. Yep, Sandy, that's awesome. And you can, I can definitely kind of demonstrate that. St. Stephen says, I do the Halo with the Prosody and Lyria with the Mole, dual box, run 2 lasers. Yeah, I can appreciate that. And say, I've always thought about maybe using doing a little dual boxing myself. It's nothing I've really gotten into. It would remind me kind of the old EverQuest days or whatever, dual boxing or whatever. But Greg Digger says, I did 5 loads tonight with 2 FLTR-XL modules and no issues. So yeah, I'm not saying the FLTR-XL has a problem, like definitively. It's just ever since I had 2 loads in a row, I like it reset, like you'd get like 21 SCU, 22 SCU, 0 SCU. And then as soon as I've taken it off, I've never had the problem again. So, you know, I definitely have to just brave and put it back on at some point again. I love the FLTR-XL, and I'm missing not having it, but I just haven't been brave enough to kind of monkey with it yet. So, all right, we're just going to kind of clear the station here. Beautiful. We're going to spool the drive and back out to the air and Haley will go. We'll drop out at 11.5. Off we go. Greg Peter says, I'm thinking of moving back to CRUL1. I prefer the station. You make more from Quant. I'm always thinking about going cash in the to crash into the station at ArcL1. Yeah, you know, if I'm going to air in Halo Mine Gray, I'm going back over to CRUL1. That's what I decided tonight. You know, because that 3% Quantanium over 10, 12, 20 jobs actually starts, you know, equaling quite a bit of money. You know, so that 3% bonus at CRUL1 is actually fairly significant over time. So, you know, just one of those things for sure. So, yeah, headed back out to the air in Halo. We've had a couple of beautiful runs. You know, 60 SCU so far in the stream tonight, just in a couple of runs. We actually went over to HURL3 at first, you guys. Some of you guys who joined a little later. At HURL3, I scanned 3 times. I literally pinged 3 times. 2 of the 3 were Quantanium, and one of them was a heck of a nice rock. Only I got jumped by an NPC pirate, and I had to flee because I can't fight in this thing. So I was like, oh man. So, all right, so we're gonna fall out of here at 11.5 and kind of pick it up from there. Gravedigger says CRUL1 is a free 30K for every million every million you refine. That's a very good way to look at it, Gravedigger. I mean, it's just, you're just leaving money on the table, not necessarily going there. Now, when Leary is so close, and it's an important thing to be able to do it, here, we're going to drop out of 11.5, 7, 6, 5, boom. All right, so that's good. So we'll go ahead and turn this guy off, and pull this guy down a touch, and then pull this thing out. Now, if you look here, like if you look at the, like how I'm in here, Sandy, I don't know if you have a chance to look at this. I have the mining laser out. You know, I have the velocity set a little bit higher than your standard, and I have it set to a 170 scan. I'm going to ping out. There's going to be opportunity markers, right? Now I'm going to, kind of focus in at 2 degrees. I'm going to shoot this ping again, and you can see that's a P-type. You see that it's the type, and so you can now go very quickly from one of these to the other, and as soon as it's a Q-type, then you just go head on in there. Now, there may be one that doesn't report back. You do have to ping sometimes a couple of times, and also see how this one's at 12.8, 12.7. You have to wait till you're 12.3. Juan Carlos, nice to see you. There it is, Q-type. 12 point whatever away, 12.2 away, Q-type. Now, once we realize it's a Q-type, we're going to roll back to a 90 degree. We're just going to ping every so often to keep that out in front of us. Juan Carlos, nice to see you. How are you, man? Welcome to the channel tonight. Ray Peter says, I have the FLTR-XL on my Prospector. I'm having no trouble with it at all. Yeah, I just had to reset my Quant a couple times, guys. I don't know if it's it. Somebody happened to mention it on the channel when I was that, and I've taken it off and I've never had that problem again. It might have just been the server that night. I should just probably throw it back on. Sandy Claus says, makes sense. Yeah, Sandy, this is an awesome way to kind of figure out the types at a distance. And this wasn't a thing before, and it's really opened up the Halo considerably. Now, this is not going to be a good rock, you guys. You can see right off the bat, the green is just too thick. I'm going to actually zoom past it probably. Yeah, let me go ahead and hard stop there. It's a 2%er, so not a great rock. But you know what? No problem. We're going to go focus in. There's one at 11.2 away. And that is potentially also a Q-type. We'll have to see. Maybe we might have just been getting some noise from this Q-type in front of us, but I think that actually might be a Q-type cluster. We'll have to see. That's a cluster over there for sure. I don't know if we were getting it might be an M-type actually. I think it said M-type. It was probably that we were in front of the Q-type. What do you mean P-type or Q-type? So excellent question. It's the different types of rocks have different stuff in them. So I think like I should kind of write this down or learn it. But like M types are going to have like I think laranite in them. P types might have backslide or that type of thing. So it's what are they going to contain is basically the type. But Q types are Quantanium types. So that's what we're looking for. So it's the different type. It's in the scan results. Like when you focus down and you re-ping, in the scan results you can see there's an M type. So I know I'm not going to fly fast towards an M type because an M type is not what I'm looking for. It's only the Q types. And so now we're able to be very discerning as we kind of sail along here, right? We can kind of just ping out. Once we see fresh opportunity markers that pop open, we can kind of focus down on those, get them within 12.2, send out another ping. It's in the scan results. That's exactly right. Send out another ping, and then in many cases, if it's going to ping back at you or give you some results, it's a good chance. Now, if you ping them a bunch and they don't give you any returns, there's a good chance that those are unscannable rocks. That's been my experience. So don't even bother chasing them too much. You can try, but for the most part, it's more than likely those are unscannables. M type out there for sure. Let's go ahead and focus down on this guy. Single rock. Definitely being a little grumpy here. No big deal. What about here? Boom. That's that cluster that's not talking back. This guy here, what do we got? E type. All right. So, we'll kind of fly towards this cluster a little bit. And I will see if it's unscannable, because for the most part, it's been unscannable rocks. Oh, my stars, I clicked out of the view. Is it up there? A couple of rocks up there, a couple of rocks down there. See how they're unscannable? I have the mining laser on them. It won't even show me. And see, that's what I'm talking about. And then down here, there's some rocks. Now, this is interesting. And let's see if these guys are also kind of unscannable down this way. Don't want to fly right at them. Yep, see how these are unscannable as well. So that's what happens. Like when they won't, when they won't scan, you just won't get any ping results back. And that's kind of what I wanted to demonstrate to you guys. Now, when they ping back, right? When they give you a type, then you know that they're going to be, that's going to be the type of rock. Now, I do like keeping, just so we're on the same page, I do like keeping a, something right out in front of me. And I had kind of gotten away from it, which is, I have this set towards ArcL 3 right now, and I do that because I don't want to necessarily retread the same ground, and I think I may be doing that a touch this time, but no big deal. We're just going to keep sailing along. There's an M type. Nothing there. There's a P type. P type. And we'll just kind of keep flying towards this direction here. Keep that kind of at our 12 o'clock, and we'll just kind of keep rolling. So that's it, Sandy. I hope that helps. I honestly think this is is a game-changing thing for the Anhalo, and I've been kind of showing it for the last week or so. So I know for some of you, you're like, "Oh, my stars in heaven!" You definitely showed this a lot. Well, it is because it's it really is a super big game changer, for sure. And there's an E-type. Ray Peter says, Mr. Ozai, only the mining laser. Yeah, you have to have the mining laser out in order to get the types. That's the thing. It's the one thing about, that's the, you got to abuse the mining laser for this particular matter. St. Steven says, single Q types are worth investigating in the Halo. I found a bunch of 5122s at 35%. Yeah, well, anything that's a Q type is worth investigation here, for sure. I agree with that 100%. Brianna Joy this says it makes the Halo way more profitable. Brianna, I could not agree more. I do think that the Halo is definitely on par with Lyria, if not a little faster if you get lucky. I think that's a Q type right there. We'll head towards it and see what we have. So we'll go ahead and roll back to 90 as we approach. Keep that guy right there. And we are approaching. This makes the Halo way more profitable. I could not agree more. I mean, it's definitely been fantastic. Quite honestly, much faster than Lyria for me lately. Single rock, so it's a 5122. I will pivot and look at it in just a sec. Not a good one. Definitely not going to be a great one with that big old optimal wedge. That's going to be probably at best a 2%er. You do still have to get in. Yep, it's a 2%er for sure. See, so yep, so you do have to get within a certain range in order still to get your results, but it's just one of those things. You don't have to fly towards every rock now. You used to have to kind of cross, like zigzag your way through the halo and look at everything you came across, and you don't have to do that anymore, which really makes it lovely. All right, we're going to go ahead and crank down on that guy. What type is that? That is a Q-type cluster. Beautiful, beautiful cluster of Quantanium rocks. Gotta love it. Awesome cluster. Now, keep in mind, we're not flying right towards it, and I will kind of pull us back to a 90, and we're just kind of come in here, but that is definitely a Q-type cluster. It's right in this area. We're flying towards it right now. And they'll come into view here. This is a lot of opportunities here. Looks like it's going to be at least 5. Now, just because it's a cluster doesn't necessarily mean maybe 6. Another one kind of popped into view there. Just because it's a cluster doesn't mean you're going to find something worth mining, but a lot more opportunities. That looks like a very nice rock right off the bat, though, I'll tell you that. So we'll kind of get in here, we'll look at these, and see what we have. So first rock here, beautiful, beautiful Quantanium. This is probably going to be like a 10 or 12% or something like that. Not necessarily great. Kind of get in here and get our scan results. And I had to hit that one with the laser to kind of wake it up. 2%er. But this one right up here is going to be a pretty nice rock, I have a feeling. That is a 5122 at 42%. We'll definitely be mining that one unless there's something nicer in the rest of these. So that's a nice rock, you guys. That's a real nice rock. This is going to be another 7 or 8%er, maybe something like that. 6%er. There you go. 6.5. Got a couple more to scan here. That's probably a 20. Yeah, that's a 20%er. Just kind of looking at the green windows here as we go. That's going to be another, 10%er, maybe 7%er. One more rock there. 4631. That's awesome. So yeah, Sandy, I mean, if you're seeing that a lot, you just got to keep trying, right? It's one of those things where you have to have the mining laser out. You definitely have to have the mining laser out. And if they're not giving you any, you'll run into 5, 6, 7 of them in a row sometimes that won't give you anything. That's a nice rock, you guys. This is a 5142. So let's go ahead and we'll kind of break the laser open, and we'll just go ahead and get this guy started. So this is an excellent rock. That's a 42%. Can easily make a uni if it cracks right. Gravedigger's absolutely correct. This could be a second uni of the night for us if it breaks right? I mean, no guarantees, but we're going to stick that the UI right in the dark part, right above that rock in the dark part. Give ourselves a little contrast. Get this guy broken down and see if we can't get lucky and get ourselves a unicorn with this second rock right here. Very good morning to you, Dark Side. I knew that if I streamed late enough that I might catch you in your morning, sir. That's exactly why I decided to stream kind of a late night tonight a little bit. I always want to try and give people an opportunity to catch them a little bit. And then Juan Carlos says that could be a full 32 SEU. We hope so, Juan, for sure. We are definitely hoping for a full 32 SEU. We're in a good optimal range. She's going to start. It's a 220 instability, so she's pretty grumpy. Pretty grumpy instability for sure. Put the laser in the dark part, yes, for sure. That's awesome, you guys. What a beautiful, beautiful night. Loving mining in Star Citizen. Andre says, I'm definitely enough here enough. Sandy says, got my glow on. That's awesome. All right, second union of the night. If this guy breaks just right. So now she decided to race up pretty hard into the optimal, and I just rolled it back fairly significantly. Now it could see how she spiked out pretty nasty. I could definitely fire a brand on initial break. I don't want to have to do that, but a 2.2 instability is fairly egregious. And so if it keeps running out bad or running up bad, I may have to do it. But we'll just kind of see. Let's see if we don't have to do it. I'd prefer not to. Looks like she's holding pretty stable in there right now. I've got her at a 90 or so. She is pushing up a touch. You know, just kind of staying pretty focused on the mining laser. She's running up there now. I had to fall back to 49. Looks like we're going to get a break in. Good job. Good break. Nate says, good evening, Mr. Short. Saw you were pirating earlier with child labor. I was. Wish I could have stayed around to watch more of that stream, but had to take my kids to grandma's. I understand that, sir. No problem. I definitely had I think I was actually kind of he was definitely the captain. I was the first mate. Millis, welcome to the channel, Millis. Not a name I recognize. What about, what was the change you were talking about? I jumped in during the last part. So, Millis, I don't know if you've ever kind of mined in the air in Halo, but there is a way for you to tell what type of cluster or of rock mass it is at 12 up to 12.2 km away. And that's a significant change from the way that it used to be. So, that's what I'm talking about. So here's 18 SEU 100%. This is a 99%er right here. There's quite a bit there. What about this rock right here? That's 709, and that's at 51%. And it wasn't there. Oh yeah, the rest of these were just kind of what they were, right? So yeah, so that is 959. Actually, that's really 18. I think that's like a 9.5, 18. That's 19 SEU there, and then this here is almost 16 SCU here. So yeah, we should be in pretty good shape, you guys. We should be able to get this no problem. And so yeah, I mean, Miles, I will tell you, if you hang around, I'm probably going to do at least one more run out to the Halo, and I'll kind of demonstrate it again. It's a really, really nice change that has kind of really made the air in Halo much more profitable for Quantanium mining. And yeah, I mean, we've definitely had a really, gotten 2 unis tonight, and fairly. Obviously, this is the second one, potentially, but yeah, it's definitely really helped the air and Halo mining out a ton, and it's something that we've been sharing with different people as they come. By the way, once again, welcome to the channel for sure. Not a name I recognize, and I always like to say hi to the new people that come along, and just want you to know, I mean, if you ever have any kind of questions or want to theory craft anything, please do. Feel free to contribute, ask questions. We'll do whatever we can to help. Absolutely. Welcome to the channel. So, another 99.23%, not quite a hundo. So one of these in here will have a little bit of Garbola in it. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on it. Beautiful. Milo says, I'm running from ARC-L1 to Babbage for an FLTR-XL, an FLTR. Now, you can buy those from ARC-L1. They're on display. Those actually are in the refinery on display. The FLTR and the FLTR-XL are on display. So you don't have to click on the black screens. They're sitting on top of the tables at ARC-L1, Miles. So you actually can pick those up right there. You just have to hit F key and just buy them that way, right? They're right there on display in the refining station for ARC-L1. I did a little video about kind of what components are where. It wasn't exhaustive, but the FLTR-XL is the one I normally run with, and so I did happen to mention that one for sure. So 2.35 instability here. I'm monkeying around with it a little bit. Brought her down to an 8. I tried, they won't work for me. Oh, that's weird. The ones where you just select buy on them? Well, that's too bad. Now, I normally would fire a I normally would fire a brand, but I thought, well, it's only a 51%er. Let's just go ahead and see if we can get lucky. Just trying to fall out towards the end here. Good break. Miles, this makes me super sad. I can appreciate that. Darkside says, really glad so far to see the subs continue to increase. So well deserved. Thank you for that, Darkside. Sandy Claus says, found a cluster. Nicely done, Sandy. Awesome. We'll go ahead and begin extracting here. Big oof grave, yeah, for sure. Mila says, most of the things you can interact with and buy don't work for me. Thankfully, food works, though. Yeah, really. I could really appreciate that. If food didn't work, that would be crazy. Juan Carlos says, lost a Q-type now. Not sure exactly, Juan, what you're shooting for there, but happy to help if I can dig it out for you. All right, you guys. So plenty of Quantanium here. One of them's not quite a hundo, though, so I have to be discerning with the laser. And we are gonna, we definitely we have an opportunity to get a second unicorn here, so we definitely want to take advantage of it. That is nothing right there. I'm glad we did the scan. Oh, lost 26 SCU of Quantanium. Sorry about that, sir. There's the one right there, right? That's the one that wasn't quite a hundo. Sorry to hear about that, Grave. That's crazy. All right, another hundo coming on board. St. Stephen, if you can't find food in the station, just lie in a med bed and you'll... That's a very good point. The one thing we were discussing, though, Saint, is I wonder, we're not sure it's necessarily clearing the state of hunger and thirst. Like, it is bringing you up to 99s, but then I think you do fall faster, right? I don't think it actually, makes you less thirsty or hungry. It does bring you up to 99. And I'm just wondering about that. What's your thought is on it? Mr. Zai says, oh, I found those new RRS helmets today in a bunker. I easily did 40 plus on the look for one, but now hope the rest of the armor spawns. That's cool, man. That's awesome. Juan Carlos says 7.9 mil from HRL5, and I see at least 6 Q-types so far. That is awesome, Juan Carlos. That's what I'm talking about right there. So we've got 24 SCU of Quantanium on board. We're definitely looking for a little bit more. We're hoping to. Could be a real nice rock here. This is we're waiting for the scan to finish. 100%er. That's 6 SCU right there. So this is a really nice one. Now, one of the things that I'm going to do right now while this guy's doing this thing is I'm going to steer that route. I'm going to set that route. And then I have one more. Hopefully this is the guy. It is. Boom. 32 SCU. Ding, 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 ding. I definitely have to get that bell one of these times. We're going to back away kind of slowly. We don't want to kind of get ourselves into anything else. We're going to turn over here. We're going to spool up the quantum drive, and we're going to pull away from that cluster. Beautiful cluster. That was an awesome rock. This is our second 32 SCU run. Could not have gone smoother. St. Stephen says falls faster, but keeps you alive to fight another day. Fair enough, Saint. I agree with that 100%. Drax says ding, 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 ding. That's right. I've got to get a bell, you guys, whenever we get unis on board. This is the second uni of the night. The Halo's been very good to us the last, 10 days or so. And so whenever you can kind of pull in unicorns left and right, I tell you, it's a beautiful thing. I think we're going to have 90 SCU. We still listen. There's still work to do. We got to bring this in. We've got to set this thing down. We don't want to crash into the station. Something I've been known to do. We got to get this down and put it in the hopper. But if we do, we will have already 90 SCU during the stream here tonight. So still got a little work to do, but man, are we having a good night. And so, like I said, and some of you seen a lot of new faces tonight. Please do like and sub. It is one of those things. We're definitely trying to grow the channel and stream it at different times so different people have opportunities to kind of catch the live stream. And give us a like, give us a sub, come hang out, come chat mining, come chat anything Star Citizen. We absolutely love discussing Star Citizen stuff with you, but mostly we do Quantanium mining. That's what I kind of, very, very few times you're going to jump on this channel and not see me cracking rocks. Dracona says, make a sound file for my Ding-a-ling song by Chuck Berry. I need to do something just like that. Something fun. Something that's just kind of like ding, ding, ding. Just some kind of a sound effect I need to kind of put on my stream deck or something. So I need to stop talking about it and start doing it. So we're coming out of first quantum here on our way back to CRUL1. Of course, the reason we're doing CRUL1 tonight is CRUL1 has that 3% Quantanium bonus. So if we're going to be mining in the Halo, why aren't we giving ourselves the opportunity to get that bonus? Movies and visual effects. Nice to see you tonight, Movies. Welcome to the channel. Is the mole not working right now? The lasers don't seem to function. Movies, it's not. The mole extraction bug still remains. You know, you can do the cracking part, but you cannot do the extraction part. So the mole is broken right now. It's one of those things. A lot of my people who come, a lot of the friends here who come to the channel are solo mole mining experts, and they are sad. And I can understand why. I mean, if the prospector was broke, I'd be sad. So yeah, it's definitely a tough situation right now for the mole. I hope that they get that thing fixed soon. The mole is borked. Yep, it is. It's kind of a known issue. She's broken. Alrighty, so beautiful. We've got to kind of bring this in at a reasonable clip. Probably somewhere around 350, 400. Andre says, tip: if you have trouble buying food, take 2 to 3 delivery missions with 3 packages and loot the outposts along the way. Yeah, I mean, guys, there's tons and tons of food in these outpost things. Movies and Visual says, hey, thanks, thought I was losing my mind. You're not losing your mind, Movies. And for the information just like that, make sure, like I said, make sure you do like and sub and come jump on whenever you catch us live. Because you're going to have a whole bunch of people in here who mine and love to answer questions just like that. You're not losing your mind at all, sir. Griel says, sucks. I miss my orange mole. I understand where you're at. Grave Digger says, the mole is borked. More than a Swedish chef. I love that one, Grave. Andrea says, and if looting is laggy, wait 2 seconds after each item. This gives the server time to realize you moved something in between the inventories. That's a very good tip, Andreas. Love that tip for sure. So we're bringing this guy in. Probably should kind of focus over this way. That's where they've been giving me the things, so far. And as soon as I kind of get into range here, I will call for a landing. Movies and Visual Effects says subbed. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate that. That's awesome. And, yeah, I mean, come chat anytime and hang out, man. I mean, we're going to go back out to the Halo, and I'm going to show everybody kind of the new scanning meta one more time. We're going to see if we can find one more rock for sure. So I'm going to pop this gear. I'm going to roll these VTOLs back, I think. We're going to just bring her on in. We haven't even heard first alarm yet, so we're in really good shape. Andrea says, I only loot bottles and energy bars, never fruits. That's I can appreciate that. Mr. Zai says, can also find some subscribers' clothing and bits of armor in the outpost. Yes, you'll find things that only subbers have had in the past. That's right. And so that's one of the cool things about getting out there and doing a little looting. Toe Cutter says, anyone else got the bug where helmets increase the size for female characters? That sounds like beer goggles to me, Toe. Just teasing, guys. Movies and Visual Effects. Thanks, man. No problem, Movies, for sure. That's awesome. I've been doing a lot of learning Adobe Premiere, Movies, so your name kind of makes me laugh. I've been monkeying around with that a lot this week. Mr. Azai says, can only take the Calo meal bars because they give the best buffs as long with the cruise drinks. Fair enough. Bell Idrail. Bell, not a name I recognize. Welcome to the channel. If you've been on before, just don't recognize the name. Where can you cave mine with an ROC? There's not a lot of places, Bell. I mean, there's a few fly-in caves where you can do that. It's not really worth it. You said I've gone to a couple so far, and they all have areas you can crouch through, but you can't get an ROC. And there are caves you can fly into, but it's not going to be like flush with places. You know what I mean? So, Bell, you just have to. You have to find the fly-in caves. When you find the fly-in caves, then you can take it in there, and there will be some spots where you can do it. It's not great though. And that's just me being honest, and I love ROC mining. So I'm not throwing shade on it. I'm just trying to just be as honest with you as possible. It's not great to do that. I hope someday it's awesome. That would be so cool. So we did finally hear first alarm here. I'm going to go ahead and kill the engines. We're going to get out of the seat. Andrea says, yes, helmet bigger part. Yeah. Andrea says, I get this big. Sometimes my head, it looks like a balloon. Sometimes a giant egg. I don't know. Only happens with the arrow set after equipping a pirate version. Oh, that's interesting. I hadn't heard that one before. That's really funny. Andre says, bug. He's kind of clearing it up. Yeah, I kind of caught what you were, picked up what you put down there, sir. All right, so second unicorn, we're running in. We still got to put this guy in the hopper. You know, the prospector's out there, pad 1. We'll try to make sure that we actually call the, go down to the lobby this time instead of standing and chat with you guys for 2 minutes. But, you know, hey, you know, I get swept away in the chat with you guys for sure sometimes. It's so much fun. All right, Miss Prospector pad 1. Oh my gosh, I just got knocked into space. What the heck? Where am I? Let me see if I can get out of this mess. What is happening? Oh, I clipped out of the station. What on earth, you guys? Hold on. I am dying. What is happening? Kind of clipped into the station here. Let me see if I can figure it out. Definitely not having a good time here. Trying to move in a direction. Trying to kind of get my way out of here. Exit menu now. Exit to menu. Uh-oh, before I'm in cap. But you know what? I set just backspace. Oh gosh, the unicorn. No worries, you guys. We'll have to see how it goes. Let me just kind of backspace, and we'll just see. I mean, maybe they'll store the ship. I don't know. You know, no big deal. Not a bad idea. I should have maybe thought about menus, though. I don't necessarily disagree with that. I did set my imprint here. So we'll have to see. Elevator minigame failed. Yeah, the elevator. Walter, that's exactly right, Walter. Bell says, might have a time for the backspace to get to the ship stored. Yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. You know, I definitely have had this happen to me before. So I'm trying to wake up. Okay. I definitely set my imprint here, so we'll have to see kind of what's going on with that. I'm running over to see if I can just store the ship. Let me out. Oh boy, where am I going? Alrighty. We're running our way, hopefully, to store the prospector. I don't know if it's stored or not. Hopefully it won't hit. I don't think it would have gone to claim. We'll just have to see. It was only a unicorn on board, you guys. I mean, what's the sweat?
Welcome.
So, alright, so let's go ahead and take a look here. Prospector is retrieved at CRUL1. So, hey, I mean, I think we're golden. You know, no big deal. We'll kind of throw this stuff back on. Oh, yeah, I got to take this thing off. That's awesome, you guys. Let's go ahead. I'll get dressed in the, elevator. Let's go down and see. Miles is 3.1.1. Elevator should no longer collide with players. Yeah. Oh, they've been colliding with me, Miles, for sure. That's awesome. Oh, that's hilarious. I love those notes. It's like, it should no longer happen. Yeah, it shouldn't. You're right. Love it. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw on some stuff if we can, I guess. Armor? Oh, I need to throw on this undersuit, right? Boom. All right, cool. Boom. Come on now. All right, what about, where are we at? We're on our way down to the refinery. We got to say, Hellion says, how you doing, Hellion? Hey, Soren, good morning. How are you, Soren? Nice to see you, Walter. Welcome to the channel, by the way, Walter. Not a name I necessarily recognize. Sometimes the elevator doors open and I see the universe. And then I wake up next to my doctor. I can appreciate that. That's awesome. Oh, my stars. Yeah, and then I see the universe. And then I say to myself, it's full of stars. And then I wake up next to my doctor. That's the way it goes, right? Gravedigger says, pro tip, you can never, you can call the refinery pad elevator, move to a corner away from the elevator. It's safe there. I should be doing that for sure. I know that the, Alex, hey, Space. How you doing, Alex? Nice to see you. I know better, you guys. I mean, I just kind of, you know, it's funner for all you guys if I just kind of get slaughtered by the elevator now and then. You know, so anyways, we'll begin. We do have the Miss Prospector here. We got a full unicorn here. So nothing can dampen my spirits. Dynex Solvent Nation will pull that guy off. Look at that, you guys. That is a 30-30-30. That's 90 SEU in 3 runs. You gotta love that. We're gonna go ahead and finish kind of throwing on our items. Weapons here, a big Coda pistol on my side. Utility, I've got some of these that gotta go in here. Boom, boom, boom. I gotta throw that guy on. I gotta go throw this guy on. Did that guy get in there? I want that guy on. This guy has gotta go on here. This guy. Beautiful. All right, the big Coda pistol on my side. Looking good. What about anything else? Armor. Ammo. Yep, I do like to have a couple of extra of those on board. Undersuits, clothing, sustenance, anything. Well, it's one way to get my sustenance squared away, right, guys? That's awesome. Milas says, I never had elevator touch me until 317. Actually, Milas, I agree with that 100%. I was when I was testing 3.17, they were just killing me left and right, and everybody was laughing. Just kind of, because me, I don't get too worked up about these things. I think it's funny. Alex is high space. How's the mining going? How's the haul so far? It's been fantastic. We've gone to the Air Halo 3 times, and we've had 3 excellent runs. We also did go to HURL3. And then got attacked by an NPC pirate and had to flee for our lives with our tail tucked between our legs. Hellion says, got to hate this game sometimes. You're absolutely right, Hellion. By the way, some of you new faces, welcome to the channel. Not some names I recognize. Please like and sub. You guys, I mean it. It's so great to see the channel growing. Different people having an opportunity to come contribute. I've been doing the stream now about 4 months, mostly Quantanium mining, probably 98% of the time, sometimes other things, but for the most part, Quantanium mining. Love to theory craft and do that kind of a thing, so please do like and sub, you guys. That means a lot. Movies Divisional says there should be emergency stairs everywhere. I don't disagree with that, Movies, for sure. I agree with that 100%. Dustin says, how much is that worth? Oh, that's an excellent question. So, just so you guys know, so far in the stream tonight, let's just do it. I'll just do it at 90, 90, 90, and 90, so, or 30, 30, and 30. So, we've got, and it's better than it's like 3,100 plus 3,100 plus 3,100. It's 9,300. So 9,300 times 88 equals 818,000 SCU so far. Now that's, I have some fuel costs and some other things, so probably, at least $250,000, $750,000, 750,000 plus. Alex Track says, Quant Boy versus Starstream, who is the resident? Hey man, I bow to Starstream. I mean, that guy's durability, his 12-hour streams, man, I can't hang. He is a fierce, happy warrior, that guy. I love that guy. Super, super, super cool dude. I've had a few opportunities to chat with him. He's always gracious, and really, really good at what he does. Mila says, I'd rather EVA to the hangers and halves. Fair enough. I was trying to EVA out of that mess. Movies, Invisible says, yeah, LOL, the refinery stairs would be killer. Yeah, they are. I mean, honestly, if there's metrics for what's killing people in the verse, I know stairs have climbed significantly lately. I mean, that's a for sure thing.
Stand by.
So here's the thing, did I pre-flight that? I don't know. Let's just go ahead and store it one time and just be honest with ourselves. Because we don't know. I'm going to store it one time. I'm going to go back out of here and pre-flight one time. I don't want to get out there and be kind of short of rant if I don't need to be. And I might have pre-flighted it, but I just wasn't sure. Rant. I think, okay, we're good. Just want to make sure that I don't get out there with an empty slot that's unnecessary. 2 hours, that's really good. It's not too shabby, I'll tell you that. It definitely is, we've been really kind of hitting the Halo hard, and it's been really paying off lately for us. Colton Yoder, Colton, nice to see you tonight. How are you, Colton? I'll clap to that. So I'm trying to use the alt mouse wheel to change the FOV. It's not changing from 360 like usual, something different. No. You might want to remap, make sure that you have them mapped correctly. Just go double check the mapping. But no, it's been working fine for me tonight, Colton, for sure. Milo says, oh, geez, the stairs to the refinery would be terrible. Could you imagine those twisting stairs all the way down there, Milos? Oh, my gosh. Like, in that gear, maybe as you're climbing up the stairs, it's like, man, my thirst is going through the roof. Gray Peter says, 5 large loads refined will net you about 1.3 to 1.5 mil. That's exactly right, Gray. Milo says, Colton Yoder, the tab scanner angle is comma and period by default. Yes, it is combat period by default. A lot of us do map it to holding down left alt and mouse wheeling up and down, but like maybe something overwrote that, or you might have to go back and just double check and reset that thing. Sometimes a Boolean turning it off and turning it back on type of thing will kind of override any mess that it's gotten itself into. That happens from time to time. Alrighty, back into the old Prospector we climb. 2 of the 3 runs have been unicorns out in the air in Halo, and we're hoping to do 1 more. So we'll go ahead and climb into the old cockpit here and fire up, and we'll set the ARC L3 as our destination. Up off the pad we go, lift up the gear, kind of pitch her forward. Definitely speed up just a touch. Begin spooling.
Thank you, and please visit again.
Clear the station a little bit, and off we go. Some quote says, "Yeah, I'll reset it, but at period and comma work." Yeah, by default it is period and comma. So I remapped mine to hold down left alt. Alex Jennings, how's it going? Alex, nice to see you tonight. How are you, sir? Awesome. Alex Track says, "When in doubt, log out, delete user folder, and log in again. Usually fixes some bugs." Don't disagree with that. Alex is absolutely speaking some truth there. That's cool. Yoda says, "Yeah, I'll reset it." Yeah, you guys doing great, tonight, you guys. So yeah, appreciate the likes, appreciate the subs tonight. Definitely appreciate 14 the little bit of coffee money. That was awesome, you guys. Absolutely loving it. So great stream tonight. Obviously we get out here and we have another good run. We will earn over 1 million aUEC in our stream tonight, but we're just kind of cruising out here, answering any questions you guys have. And Andrea says, "Yay, getting my paint job back, brought back luck. I got a nice rock, not a uni, but 27 SEU, nothing to be sad about." Anytime you get north of 20 SEU, it's a good run. 27 SEU is a solid run. Absolutely good run, Andreas, for sure. Alex Jenny says, "I have a question for you. Is it worth it, in your opinion, for a solo player to buy a mole? I've seen guides that you can make more money with the mole, but it's more involved." It is more involved, Alex. It does take more ambition. There are plenty of people on my channel that would absolutely advocate solo mole. I prefer myself solo prospector, but people who solo mole love it. They love the fact that they've got 96 SEU to play with. They love the fact that they can kit the mole out differently. One laser have one type of setup, one laser have another type of setup. Lots. Alex, when I first bought my mole, I soloed it in a bunch too. There's nothing wrong with doing that. That actually teaches you a lot about the positioning of the mole. And positioning, you'll learn as a good mole captain, is everything in the mole. So there's nothing wrong with spending time soloing in the mole. Now, you may find over time that it may seem a little tedious. That's what happened to me, and I prefer to solo in the Prospector. Prospector is my favorite ship in the game. The mole is my favorite ship in the game with the crew, though. It's so much fun. So, I'm not trying to muddy the water. I hope that gives you some perspective. I think owning a mole and soloing a mole is an excellent thing to do. It teaches you a lot about using the mole correctly. It also puts you in a situation where you can demonstrate easier for the people that you bring on board. You may, like me at some point, decide, well, the Prospector makes me enough money. But you know what? I hope that that's a good, you take some good perspective away on that. Andrea says, "I usually delete the contents of the user folder, but leave the keybind folder. I'm too lazy to set them." Yeah, I agree with that, Andreas, for sure. Gray Peter says, 27 SEU is fine haul. Yep, I agree with that, Gray. 27 SEU is a very respectable haul. Colton Yoder says, "Been going to SPAL7 on Lyria and been hitting gold constantly without searching all day." That's interesting. Sounds to me like SPAL7's been a little hot on Lyria. That's a good tip. Sandy Cloud says, "I solo mine a lot. It's in depth." It is in depth. It's a little bit more ambitious for sure. So All right, so we're going to go ahead and turn this guy off. We're at a good clip. We're going to go ahead and open up the mining laser. I am going to get kind of control of this thing, and we are going to start out here with our 170 scan. Hell's Angel. Best thing I found is the right shift key locks direction when going in a direction. Interesting. I like that for sure, Hell's. Good tip. I appreciate it. Welcome to the channel, by the way. Nice to see you. Welcome aboard. And so we're going to go ahead and get a little bit of a... Oh, because we died, you guys. We lost our our icons. So that happens. You know, we don't have the yellow icons. They changed to blue. And that happens. It's no big deal. But we got to close down here to 12.2 before we're going to be able to kind of scan this guy. And so what else is worth mining besides Quantanium? Well, of course, Vexillite isn't bad. Hadanite, Laranite, and Terranite Laranite and Terranite and Vexillite are your other options. But really, nothing is nearly as profitable as Quantanium, which is why most people just kind of mine that. I mean, it's just one of those things. Now, I love mining, and I love going after and get myself some Vexillite. I don't care. I'm happy to do it. But I will tell you, as far as profitability goes, there's really nothing quite like Quantanium. That's an M type there. We're going to keep moving. See here, that is a Q type right there. So we'll head in on that Q type. We'll roll back to a 90. And we've been lucky with our Q type so far. We'll kind of keep moving forward. So yeah, Alex, I would say that's something to consider, is the fact that Quantanium is really the most profitable. But the other threes, Vexillite, Laranite, and Terranite, are absolutely good ones to mine as well. They're not nearly as profitable, but they are worth mining. Alex Trek says, remind me, what's your favorite refining method? I like the Dynex solvenation when I'm not in a hurry. Dynex is it's the slowest, but it costs the less and gives you the highest yield. When we're doing mining operations with a group and we want people to be paid off a little sooner, we use the Fair-On exchange, Alex. Those are really your two choices that we feel are the best. Great Peter says Dynex something is the best method. Yep, Dynex solvenation, Dinyx. That's the one that this is just going to be a 2%er. It is just a 2%er. So we'll keep moving. That's the one I recommend, the Dynex solvenation. That's an E-type out in front of us. Okay, what about this guy here? That's a P-type. What about this guy here? That's an M-type. All right, we'll keep on moving. Yeah, so Dynex solvenation. Alex Jennings says, I hope they add jet can mining to the game. Like you can jet your mined contents out into space and let the cargo ship pick it up. Oh, Alex, they're going to definitely have that. You're going to be able to drop the bags off. Here, if you look here on the side of the prospector, let me do this here. Hold down Z. See those bags right there? Those are actually going to come up. You're going to be able to pull those right off of the prospector with and then just and then those are going to be, you're going to be able to put those into a ship, and it's going to be able to take that stuff away. So you're absolutely, those bags come off. They're, they don't right now, but they will, Alex. That's the way it's going to work for sure. There's going to be a whole logistics side to this game. It's going to be awesome. I am Dave. Welcome to the channel, Dave. How are you, sir? What ship do I need to haul refined mining with the prospector? Well, I just did an awesome video on that, Dave. If you look at my videos, I list you 13 different options. My favorite is the Constellation Taurus, so I'll give you the TLDR on it. That's my favorite hauler, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with a Cutlass Black to do 1-to-1s. There's nothing wrong with the Freelancer. There's nothing wrong with the Halle. The Andromeda's a great one. The MSR is a great one. So I mean, there's lots of options there. But I just did a great video on that. I am Dave, and I really would recommend you check that video out. I kind of go over the different choices, kind of in depth a little bit. Andrea says, honestly, I find mining different stuff kind of boring. The instability of Quantanium gives a little more excitement. I don't disagree with that. That's kind of where I'm at with it as well. It's a little bit, the Quantanium's scary because it can blow up, and it's also worth the most. And that's a Q-type right there. We're going to head towards that. That's the Q-type cluster right there, you guys. Awesome. Marcin, nice. Welcome to the channel, Marcin. Marcin says hi. Mila says, Dynex is the longest and cheapest with the highest yield. Yep, that's exactly right. There are others with the same yield but take less time. They are significantly more expensive. That's exactly right. You know, the Dynex solvenation is going to be, you know, one of your best bites. I am Dave says, nice, nice, thanks. Yep. I hope, Dave, if you have more questions about that, please do ask them too. Like, if you start kind of getting down to a couple, like a handful that you want to pick, please do come ask, for sure. We want to help. Alex agrees with Sandy. Alex Jennings says, hauler for me. I love the Caterpillar. Caterpillar's on my list. It's one of the 13, definitely, I mentioned. I love the cat. You know, the modularity of the cat's eventually going to make that thing just super, super, super fantastic. I think there was a cluster over here of Quantanium, you guys, and I don't want to necessarily lose it. Is it up there? Are those the Q-types? It is. Okay, they're right up there. So I was looking at the wrong one. I got a little sideways looking at the, the Max. Yeah, I mean, I use the Max for 6 months, you guys. I love the Max. It's a great ship. Very much like the Max for sure. All right, we'll just kind of move in on these guys. Thick boy Max. Yeah, and the Max is actually a sneaky good rock hauler too. Milo says, I use a Max, not being able to just open the door and jump out like that. The Prospector makes me sad. Yeah, there's nothing wrong though. I like the Freelancer Max for sure. I used that thing for 6 months as my main hauler and loved it every minute of it. The Creamsicle. Yeasley says, I traded off my beloved Taurus. Now I haul with my Carrack. I used to haul 3 to 5 loads though. Yeah, the Carrack's an awesome ship. I mean, I couldn't argue with the Carrack. Carrack is another one that was on my list of good ones. I don't think that this is going to be as good as... This is probably going to be around 20% if I were to guess. 25%. Not a bad rock. 250 at 5. So you have 250... so at 4, 1250, 24 SCU and a little more. So, yeah, I'm going to mine it, you guys, but it's definitely not a uni for sure, which is no big deal. I mean, still a very solid run. You know, you can't come across rocks like this and not mine them. It's still going to be a good mid-20s range, and we're just going to go in here and get her done. You know, it's what we're here for. So, just pulled in 29 SCU, so Sandy, love it. Andrea says, I have the MSR. It's my forever cargo data haul. Yes, the MSR was on that list of 13 as well. All of the ones we've mentioned so far. Movies and Visual says, wow, you are the first YT miner that even mentioned Q-types, etc. I had no clue. I wondered how others were being so lucky. Yeah, well, it's an important thing to kind of know the meta, right? Movies, for sure. And it changed significantly. It was kind of a passive meta. Passive scanning was king before, and now it's active pinging, and it's very in-depth as well. Now mining got interesting for me. Absolutely, I'm glad to hear that, Movies. That's awesome. I love that. Yeasley says, besides having to run through 15 doors to get in the driver's seat, the Carrack is great. Yeah, I can appreciate that. I mean, the Carrack does have, you know, it's a big ship. Fortunately, it's got a couple bridges. Gray Peter says, I actually pledged for my Prospector and Taurus so I can get back to mining quickly after the wedding. Gray Peter, I'm in the same boat. Those two ships I absolutely own. The Taurus and the Prospector are owned by me for sure. So exactly, so I can get right on my feet when there's now. The only thing that may unseat that for me, Gray, is the Raylan. We'll have to see when the Raylan comes on board. Will Van just says, busy day, huh? Doing some mining now? Yeah, Will Van, heck yeah. We got hopefully when we pull this in, we'll have over 100 SCU in the hopper for the stream tonight. How you been, Will? Nice to see you, by the way. Movies and Visual says you learn something new every day. Movies, that's why I love it when new people get to come to the channel and kind of learn some of the new stuff. It's so cool. That when the light bulb goes on for people, when they come to the channel, like, hey, that's a cool way to do that. You know what I mean? That's exactly why I do the channel. Dustin, I didn't miss what you said. Nomad for the win. I really have enjoyed the Nomad as a rock hauler lately. You know, the Nomad as a rock hauler, I think is sneaky good. Just kind of get backing on. It used to be kind of really hoppy on the back end of that thing, but it's not anymore. It's very stable. She rolls right up there like a beaut, easy back on. You know, yeah, I like the Nomad. It's in particular for rock hauling. Alex Jennings says, are there any other projected mining ships in the works? That's a yes. I think the Prospector's considered the small, the Mole's considered the medium, so there is one more and of course the Orion's the capital. So yeah, you know, I will tell you, There is definitely one more mining chip in the works, the large. At least when I listen to info runners, that's kind of what they say about it. So I have to believe that those guys are in the know a little bit. And Mr. Azai says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you, Mr. Azai. And please do, some of you new faces, please do like, sub, hit the notification bell. All we do is a bunch of Quantanium mining, usually over this way, and we're always happy to theorycraft anything. Star Citizen. Will Badger says, been lazy all day, helping a friend get started in SE early. Well, that's awesome. Isn't it cool when new people come on board? I think that's fantastic. All right, so we're starting to kind of get up into the optimal here. I'm going to focus a little bit back on that. Visual says, I saw your thumbnail with the mole and thought, yeah, I kind of snuck that one out there tonight. I really like that screenshot, and I know that you can't mole mine. But I thought it would, some people that would maybe come and chat about the mole a little bit. So, yeah, the mole is still broken. But I want the mole back as much as anybody. So that's a good, yeah, movies. It's kind of funny. It's a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek there, but it actually kind of worked in that particular case. So that makes me happy. Andrea says, I wish Argo or Drake would build a small prospector-sized miner. I would like to see a 2 miner. Like, I know that seems kind of silly, and we probably don't need it, but I definitely wouldn't mind seeing like a 2-seater, like almost like a twin pod from like Cloud City type thing that's got, there's just 2 lasers in it, but I don't know. That's just me. Grio says, I was going to say Odyssey has a mining laser, but also it's a capital, so guess it wouldn't count. Now, is it that technically a capital? Excellent question, Grio, for sure. I don't know. I don't know if it was a capital or not. I know it's a very big ship. There's a nice, right there is a full 19 SCU, 100%er, beautiful. Christian Dahan, hello, men, good night. How are you, Christian? Nice to see you. Dustin says, like the mule. Yeah, obviously the mule is got some legs, for sure. All right, so that's nothing, that's nothing, that's nothing. So a couple of these, that right there is 19, and there's your other half of it. I don't think there's anything else in this guy, right? This is nothing. That's just single rock. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. That right there is almost, that's 14 SCU. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, all right, there we go. There's half of that and half of that. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get this mined up here. Odyssey is the only mining chip I have. Love that one, Mr. Azai. Chris Bates says, they fixed the ROC and messed up the mole. Yeah, that's a good point, Chris. Excellent. Stated, absolutely excellent there. Rock or Rock DS, LOL. Of course Rock all day long, right? That's not even... but I don't hate the Rock DS as much as some people. Do I own the Rock DS? No. The Rock DS didn't make me angry, though. I mean, it's a little bit of a, it's a little bit silly. I wish they would have put, to me, it would have been cool if they'd have stuck lasers on both sides of it. But I do think that it was designed for more like future cave mining. But Rock all day, for sure, right, Geasley? I think Geasley's, in that camp. ROC all day long, for sure. All right, broke that one up. Here we go again. Boom, 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 boom. Andrea says, the Odyssey is a beautiful JPEG to own. Oh my gosh, the Odyssey is a drool ship. I really do like the Odyssey. If the Odyssey paired... If I could bring Quantanium from the Prospector back to the Odyssey, it would have been a no-brainer for me. And I know that's my own little thing. It's the only... it's going to be an in-game purchase for me for sure. I'm going to grind it out. I will own an Odyssey. I can't justify parting with the... obviously I have the Orion, so that's... kind of where my loyalties lie on, for that particular front. But I am 100% going to have an Odyssey. I love that ship. That might fall out if I'm not... Don't mind it a little better. 22%. Oh, yeah, and that kind of broke there. Oh, boy, she fell out. Let me kind of punch her back up. Ooh, boy. Alrighty, perfect. Movie says, bought the DS first mistake, then found it did not fit my ship. Oh, man. Marson says, on CRUL1 screen, refinery is a bug. I need to buy something that's black screen. Yeah, Marson, it is. They are black screens. You will have to kind of go to Dumpers Depot on Area 18, Dumpers Depot at Port Olisar. You'll have to go to Shubin Interstellar for some things, depending on what it is you're looking for. I may know if you ask Marson what it is you're looking for, where to get it, but you'll have to go to Dumpers Depots or Shubin, or you'll have to buy the floor models. You know, things where you have to hold on the app, things that are on display. It's a known issue, Marson, for sure. So, yeah, hang in there on that one. Let me know if there's a certain thing you're looking for. I may know where it's at. Movies and visuals says, someone said buy mining bits from New Bat. Yeah, I mean, you can definitely buy the Lancets from Port Olisar. That's the one that I recommend. Change of server, Marson. I don't know the change in servers makes those not black easily. I mean, for the most part, I think that's kind of a known issue. I've never changed servers and had them not be black before. They've always been black for me since 17.1 launched. But maybe if I'd like to know that, it's a good thing to know. Sandy Claus says, "Oh boy, my prospector wouldn't stow." Oh no, I hear how that goes for sure. We're at 18 SCU of Quantanium, and we are climbing. This was only going to be a mid-20s anyways, right, you guys? We kind of knew that from the beginning. I need to fit my prospector. So, Marson, if you go over to Port Olisar, you'll find Lancets, and then you'll find Grants. On ARC-L1, you'll find an FLTR-XL. If you want to do the Stampede and Surge meta instead, you're going to want to go to Shubin Interstellar. That's where you're going to find those things. So, yeah, Port Olisar, Dumpers Depot for some things. You know, also if you want to get some mining gadgets, you can get like the Bormax over at Dumpers Depot at Area 18. So I'm going to pull this guy on board. We knew this wasn't going to be a uni, you guys. We knew this was going to be a mid-20s run. Hopefully this gets us over 25 SCU. It looks like it did, 25.17. Very solid run. That's 100% inert there. This is not anything there. This is not anything here. And this isn't anything here. Yeah, so we're out of here. Wait, is that borace? Did I just see a heavy load of borace on one of these guys? Nope, that was beryl. That was quartz. That was beryl. That was inert. And that was only a 2%er. All right, no big deal. So let's go ahead. We will we'll clear route. We'll go back to CRUL1. We'll set route. Okay. I'm going to back away, kind of grab the sticks, back away from this guy. We're going to reposition, spool up the quantum drive, and we are going to head back to CRUL1. We're going to put this guy in the hopper. So we've had 2 unicorns and 2 very good runs. So yeah, Marson, let me know if there's any specific thing that you're looking for besides like a Lancet and a Brand, and an FLTR-XL or a Stampede and a Surge. You know, I may know where they're at. I can't necessarily promise I know where they're all at. Wait, I spelt miners wrong. Movies, no problem, movies. Gray Peter says, not this one, ha 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 ha. Will Badger says, I go to PO simply because they have both the modules and the Lancet. That's a good point, Will. It's a good place to go. I actually ran over and picked up 10 Lancets the other day and brought them back to ARC-L1, so I had extras. Will Badger says, ARC-L1 doesn't sell the Lancet, though. No, it doesn't. You have to go to Port Olisar. Movies and Visual says, oh, yeah, early days, bought a Helix 2 for my first prospector. Remember when the Helix was the meta, guys? I do. Will Badger says, they don't sell Surges. Surges and Stampedes are at Shubin Interstellar. They may also be at Area 18. I'm not entirely sure about that, but Shubin Interstellar has them for sure. Get myself a beautiful sip of coffee here. Love it. And we're on our way back into CRUL1 with this really good load here of Quantanium. We are going to break 100 SCU. We've still got a little work to do, like I always like to say. I mean, just because we've got the mining, you know, we're not done. We still have to put this thing in the hopper. As you know, the last time, you know, the elevator got me. I'm going to try and hide in the corner this time, if you guys remind me. But it's always good for a laugh, and, you know, it is what it is. And so I will say, you know, for any of you new faces, I know it's been a bit of a broken record tonight, and I don't normally do it, but please do like and sub. We are definitely trying to grow the channel a little bit. Gray Peter says, you can get the Surge modules at Port Olisar. Yes. Oh, I didn't know the surges were also at Alisar Gray. That's a good thing to know. I know you can get both the surges and the stampedes at Shubin, which is kind of why I lumped them together in my little video there. I might have mentioned they're also in Alisar. I can't remember. I did make a little list, and I did do a little video of kind of, where to find the equipment with the screens being black. Those are the types of little things that I like to do videos about. Like if people are, if the screens are black, or if the prospector seat bugs you out, or obviously scanning meta is important as well. A lot of mining loop stuff. If you guys are liked and subbed on my channel, you'll see lots of videos. Today I put out a video about what the Quantanium hauling run looks like. Of course I don't stream my Quantanium my runs to the TDD for as you guys can imagine, for obvious reasons. But I did record one this morning. Little things like that I like to kind of keep you guys in the loop on as best as I can, and you guys come a lot of times and teach me that stuff as well. Greg Peter says, hold on. They also sell surges. A movie says Helix 2 don't fit the Prosi. Yeah, none of the 2s fit the Prosi. Colton Yoder says, just another cleanup on Lear real quick, 23 SEU Quant. Awesome, Colton. Greg Peter says, you can get surge modules at Port Alisar. Yep. Andrea says, I wanted to go to bed, but there's 20 plus SEU rock in front of me. Well, who needs sleep anyway? Andreas, I like where your head is at. I'm in the same boat. Colton Yoder says, Area 18 dumpers is good for mining stuff. It is. Area 18 dumpers has a lot of cool of the mining gadgets as well. Definitely, they have the Bormax there. So they have some of the things you're looking for sure. We're on our way back in here. Marston says, I need to buy a Lancet MH1. That's at Port Alisar. You absolutely can get one there, Marston. PO is probably where I'd head for that, and brands. But let me know what else the other thing is. So Port Alisar, I think, would be fine to get the Lancet. Ray Peter says, I go and stock up on them as there's no sale for CRUL1 by 30. That's exactly what I do too, Gray. I buy things in mass, 15, 20, 30 at a time. It's just kind of the cost of doing business, right? As a miner, you just kind of have the things in stock in mass when you can. Now, this is my first night flying out of CRUL1, so I still have to shuttle some things over this way. But I'll tell you what, if I'm going to be hitting the Aaron Halo like I've been hitting it, because the Aaron Halo's been just producing. These last 7 days, it has been a very fast in and out at the Aaron Halo, finding stuff left and right with that scanning meta. And so, if I'm gonna fly out of the Aaron Halo and not Lyria as much, I'm definitely gonna move Prospector 2 over this way, and I'm gonna take advantage of that 3% quant bonus for the refining for CRUL1. That is one of the hottest bonuses. It offsets a lot of your costs. So we're bringing it in nice and slow here. We still have not heard first alarm. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination cruising in here at any ridiculous, ludicrous speed, so to speak. There's Spaceballs reference for the team. And so, man, Spaceballs, that movie would not, could you imagine? That movie would make so many people grumpy today. If that movie came out today, how would that ever get past anything? All right, so beautiful landing there. Let's go ahead and we'll do our post-flight here. Perfect. We'll go ahead and kill the engines, back out, and go down and throw this guy in the hopper. Yeah, stocking up is the way to do it, right? Go and pick up 15, 20 at a time. That's absolutely the way to do it. Blazing Saddles would not have gone over. You could not do Blazing Saddles today. It was just editors would spontaneously combust. Will Badger says they've gone plaid. Yeah. Obviously some of us are old enough to remember, of course, the way movies were back in the day. That is what it is. I mean, I'm not too worried about it. I don't get too lost in all that, but it's just funny if you think about just kind of like if something, it's like cigarettes, right? If somebody showed up with cigarettes on your shore today and they're like, hey, I got this awesome thing, it's called smoking. You'd be like, what? No, that doesn't seem healthy. Look at, I almost got bumped again. I'm taking my chances, you guys. So we have a really good org. You know, I've mentioned it a couple times in the stream, SpectreFleet.space. Links in the description there. If you're looking for some gameplay with other people, we've got some really awesome folks. A lot of FPS players, a lot of space combat players. You certainly don't have to do mining, in our org. There's lots of other opportunities. Airplane, don't call me Shirley. Yeah, exactly, movies. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah. Never call me Shirley. That's exactly. Oh man, that's funny. Will Badger says my name is Barf. That is so awesome. Yeah, there's just some movies, you're just like, they just wouldn't fly today, and it is what it is. All right, so we're storing this guy. Claim to retrieve, beautiful. We'll head down and throw this guy in the hopper. So we are over 1 million aUEC in our stream tonight so far. And $5 real. Thank you, Mr. Azai. That was awesome. What on earth? What? Oh, I mean, that's not the, trying to go to, that's one mining, that's one elevator that may not kill me right back there. I may not necessarily get to the refinery very fast, but it may not kill me either. All right, cool. So, yeah, awesome. So Santa Claus says, yeah, ARC-L1 wouldn't register. My prospector got Quantanium off, but won't store. So, yeah, go back up, climb back on that prospector, Sandy, and fly it to another pad and make them just pull it in. Yeah, I get that. I've got Quantanium on board. I can't store. It wants to go to claim, but I can still see the ship go right back out to the pad, get back in it, and go land it on another pad. I did that on stream the other night. Just kind of, it happened. So it's one of those things, Sandy. You just want to go get back in it, fly it to another pad, make them put it away, pay the fine, and get that guy stored as quick as possible. Movie says, oh, and Val Kilmer's top secret, a gem. Yeah, exactly. My wife and I watched Top Gun the other night. I think she's getting prepped. She wants to go see the new Top Gun movie. And, I'd like to spend time with her, so that's, going to be something fun that we can do together. But we kind of, it was so funny. Our 11-year-old started watching Top Gun with us. I think he was sleeping in like 10 minutes. He's like, this is a snoozer.
Hi, good to have you back.
There's not enough happening here for my taste. So, yeah, all right. So, cool. We're going to go set up a work order here. 25 SCU, boom, boom, boom. Dynex Solvenation, and put that guy in the hopper. So, I'm just going to do some quick math here just because it's fun, and why not? So, we got a 3025 plus 3130 plus 3131 plus 2462 plus, that's 10,748 times 88 equals 945,824. So we're still short $1 million, and we're going to go make that happen. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I still am at 100% food and water. I won't need any food and water. Just double check that while we're down here. Drax says, nowadays they think Porky's is a documentary. Fair enough, Drax. That's awesome. Santa Claus says, okay, yeah, jumped back in and wouldn't let me refuel or anything, so I'll try pad hopping. That's what you have to do, Sandy, for sure. Just go land on the wrong pad and make them put it away and then pay the fine. Don't you dare worry about it. So, gonna try not to get killed here. Oh, yay. All right, perfect. Up to the hangers and habs we go. So, seen a few new faces tonight. Definitely a few of you lurking. Definitely like and sub. Hit the notification bell. Come chat with us more. Come hang out on the mining stream. We're going to go back out and do some more mining for sure. And so I think one more run at least. We're going to go back to the Air and Halo and see if we can. We got to go, if we're that close to 1 million, we've got to bust 1 million aUEC on the mining stream, and it's one of those things where the Air and Halo has been very gracious to us, so we're going to keep our foot on the gas and head right back out. Beautiful evening here in northern Michigan. Tomorrow, I've had this whole week off, plus tomorrow I have off because it's a holiday. It's going to be so hard to go back to work on Tuesday. I'm going to be so wishing at 9:30 a.m. on Tuesday that I was streaming or hanging out with you guys and not neck deep in emails trying to kind of plot my way out of all the stuff, right? So anyways, let's do a little bit of a pre-flight on this guy here. Let's go over to the utility items. We are empty on the bottom, so we'll go ahead and fill that guy up. So I think I'm going to use the middle one till it's gone. I think I filled up the top one last time, so we'll go ahead one more time and save that. That is our pre-flight. That's good. We'll go ahead and pull that prospector and head back out to the Halo one more time.
To the aUEC vehicle retrieval system.
Dracona says, get killed a lot less often if you're not rushing the door like you gotta go pee. Fair enough. I don't disagree with that. Will Badger says, just wait to find out and take the time to do something around the house real quick. That's another good point, Will. You don't have to, like Will's saying, you don't have to pay the fine. You can just wait for it. It doesn't, it's just time, right? What's cool about that is it will just wear off and you can just, let it wear off. Andrea says 27.8 SCU. I'll sleep in peace today if I'm not crashing into the station. So, you know what, Andreas? There you go. You stuck it out. You kept your foot on the gas. You made yourself another couple $100,000. Love it. Drax says, Andreas, you can rest when you're dead. Drax, I know what you mean with that. Gutted. Movie's the same. Gutted that Herc A2 bomber was viable in game only for 3.17.0. Missed it. It'll come back around again, movies, for sure. And the A2, by the way, is just a fantastic ship. Bristling with giant turrets. Obviously drops bombs. It's a great ship. I really love everything about the Crusader series. Marson says, is the Drake Caterpillar, it's as good as a tranship? Oh, yeah. Caterpillar's an excellent transport ship. Really, the Caterpillar was the king of the transport ships to the Hercules came along. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're absolutely, Caterpillars are fantastic. They're also going to have the modularity. So eventually, you're going to be able to put different things in the different sections, like a medical bay or this other, or science bay or whatever. Yeah, I mean, the Caterpillar's awesome. That's a great ship. Andrea says, true, but I have some important audits today and tomorrow. I'll be at least able. Yeah, I can appreciate that, Andreas, for sure. Work being what it is. Sometimes, if you have important things in life, you gotta eventually kind of make sure you get your priorities set just nice and straight. Drac says, I didn't get a nap today. I can appreciate that, Drac. I kind of knew a little while, kind of a little earlier in the day that I was going to sneak on for this later night stream. So, I definitely was excited about it. I don't get to stream this time at night most of the time, you guys. Obviously, I try and stream different times because there are different people with different, different time zones all over the world who really have reached out to me and liked the stream. It's been really a blessing, in that capacity. And so I do like to stream at different times so different people can catch one live now and then. And so off we go. Movie says the A2 is the answer. The A2 is the answer to is jump down friendly? No, it isn't, Roger. Okay, on my way. That's exactly right, movies. Clear the decks. I Am Dave says, can you buy the Prospector paint in game? I don't know that you can, I Am Dave. I do know that, Dave, there was some subscriber only stuff. I can't, you might be able to buy, I don't know if you can buy them in game. I truly don't know that. Chan, I don't know if you can help it out a little bit. That would be great. One more time out to the air in Halo tonight for sure. But I know for a fact some of the Prospector paint is subscriber only. I don't know if there's some things you can buy. It's a good question, Dave, and I just don't have the answer off the top of my head. It's funny. I have like the blue one, and I have like the polar one, and I have the Aphorite one, but I think it seems like I bought those as part of subscriber stuff. I didn't buy them in game. I did buy the Freelancer black paint in game that works on the Max, so you can actually turn the Max kind of, you don't have to have the creamsicle color if you don't want it. And I actually like that black paint for the Freelancer. It's cool. All right, so 11.5 we're going to drop out. One more time out to the Halo tonight for sure. Been a beautiful night so far. We're going to break 1 million aUEC if we happen to have hit a good run out here on this one. So here we are, 11, 6, 5, boom. A little bit thinner in this part here, no big deal. We'll go ahead and turn this guy off. I like where our speed range is at. We'll pull this guy up and get this party started. There's one out there at 13.4. Let me kind of loosen this guy up and make sure we've got good. I kind of always switch back over to mouse and keyboard, you guys. Paint in loose boxes would be sweet. I agree with that. That's a great idea. Wouldn't that be awesome? Paint in loot boxes for ships? Holy crap. That's an M-type. Okay. We'll kind of come back over here and definitely in a fairly quiet part of the Halo here. You know, and that's okay. I mean, it's been successful either way. And ping it 4 or 5 times. Give it an opportunity. M-type. Yep. Sometimes the server lags a touch. So you definitely want to do that. Sandy Claus says, flying a cat for the first time right now. Yeah, the cat. I've never flown the Caterpillar. Can I be honest with you guys? I've never flown the cat. I love the cat. I think it's a great looking ship. I haven't flown it before. That's a Q-type right there. Boom. And it looks like more than one rock, so we'll approach that with our fingers crossed. Gray Peter says, if you can buy paint in game, the place to look for because in crows. Yep. Prinz Jaeger says, is mining alone using a mole good? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, Prinz, and welcome to the channel, by the way. Not necessarily a name I recognize. You know, there are a lot of people who would advocate solo mole mining, for sure, Prinz. So, you know, I myself have done lots of solo mole mining. It's not my favorite thing to do. I prefer the prospector solo. But there are tons of people in the mining channel here who will absolutely advocate, you know, and happily advocate mole mining solo. Right now the mole is broken though, so be aware of that. The mole's not working. So you do have to be careful. Don't buy a mole right this second because you're not going to be able to use it. This is going to be another one of those ones, you guys. It's like a 20-some percenter, I think. Interesting. I mean, I can't complain. You know. This isn't going to be that. This is going to be like a, you know, 6 or 7% or 2%. But the other one is going to be, yeah, 7.5. This other one is going to be an interesting one. We'll have to see. Yeah. Oh, it's only an 8%er with that kind of wedge. Now that's interesting, and that's fine. You know, no big deal. We'll take off without them. You know, no big deal there. I would have thought that would have been a little bit better than what it was, but no big deal. Oh, let's see here. Gravedigger says just a quick calc app. Oh yeah, you can use QuantCalc. Give it a go. Yep. Let's see here. Oh, Andreas says, good night, everyone. Good night, Andreas. Get some sleep. Good chatting with you today, sir. Really appreciate you know, how much you contribute to the channel. I hope you have a lovely rest, my friend. Crystal says, I use my mole for big laranite and agreesim runs. Prospector for quant. I can appreciate that. Wow, you guys, there's a lot of opportunity markers out there. Holy mackerel. There's a P-type. Let's kind of knock these guys down. That's an M-type. That was just a touch out of range. That's an E-type. E-type cluster, actually. Focus back down again. Here's a couple more out here. Boom. Let's see. That is a P-type. What's this guy here? Being a little grumpy about giving us a sign. Kind of ping it out as we kind of know we needed to get within range on this one. So what's this one here? That's a P-type. Unusual using such a small green wedge. Yeah, that it was. I definitely agree with that. Gray. That one, you know, like it was a small enough wedge where I really thought that was going to be like a 20%er or so. But you know what? No big deal. We'll just kind of keep after it. So moving on in here, we were squeezing the laser. Angle down tight. That's an M-type. Go ahead and kind of get ourselves back out here. There was a couple more out this way. Yep, this guy here. That's a P-type. Couple ping back at me. There we go. There's a Q-type there, and it looks like a more than one rock. And we will go check them out. Hopefully it's not the same ones. I've done that once or twice before. Prince says, I bought it for mining quant. Well, time for the prospector. Yeah, that's what you're going to need to do for now. The mole's great for mining quant. Obviously, really great for mining quant, but it's broken right now. So that's what you're going to need to do, Prince. E-Type Jaguar. I was thinking, movies is so funny that you say that. I was always thinking like E-Type. Yeah, I thought about that myself several times, right? Like, you know, the different S-Type, E-Type, you know, shit. Cars or whatever. It's so fun. You're in the same headspace as me. Hopefully these aren't the same ones, you guys. I think it is. This is going to be that 8%er again, isn't it? I flew back to him. Oh, I'm wrong. It's not. Okay, well, that's good. I thought I flew back to him for a minute. I'm like, no. That's a 2%er. This is a 46-38, 39 really. This is almost a 40-40. This could potentially break with enough in it. So let's go ahead and kind of look where it's at. Let's put our back to the sun. So we're kind of cruising around this way. It's only these two here, so it's the one below that I've got to be kind of careful about. Right, I'm just rotating on this guy so I can kind of put the UI. I'm gonna kind of go down this way. All right, I like that a little better. That angle's a little better. Let's go down here a little bit. Like it. This is a nice rock. It potentially, I mean, there's definitely enough in here if this breaks clean to be a uni. It's no guarantee. It just will have to break really clean. Drax says, you pinging the one rock over and over reminds me of the original Warcraft game. Keep clicking one and stop. Yeah, I get that. That's for sure. Movies says, types. Ha ha ha, so glad I found you. Yes. That makes all the world... oh no, enemy spotted. All right. You got a wonderful stream tonight, you guys. I really appreciate it. Have 39 likes. Have had really good chat tonight with everybody. Movie says, I saw a red target. Watch out, LOL. Yeah. I have to watch out. Now, I'm in the Halo. Hopefully, we're not getting red targets out here. Hopefully they haven't found me out this way. I will go ahead and grab myself a sip here. Beautiful night here. Have done fantastic. Gonna do over 1 million aUEC if we get this guy back in safely. Drax says, I hear my pillow calling me. I wish you all a salute and a good night. Drac, I appreciate you always being around, sir. Truly. Absolutely love having you, here on the channel, and really look forward to that one day when you kind of have the system kind of all squared away and you can come mine with me. I'm really looking forward to that day. Drac, have a lovely night. Thank you for coming and always being an awesome contributor to the channel. It means a ton to me, sir. More than you'd ever know. Movie says, could have been paranoid imagination. That happens to me, movies, for sure. And earlier I definitely was attacked by a pirate in HURL3. Great Peter says, good night. Movies is given a salute as well. And certainly I understand. I definitely know that we got started a little later than we normally do. And that's I appreciate anybody hanging in there for sure. Really enjoyed tonight. It's been great. All right, kind of bringing her down. 51. Popping her back up there. Just kind of 1.79 is not terrible over that, but they definitely can get a little bit where it tries to drive up really fast or drive down really fast. So you kind of really have to react, keep a real close eye on it and react accordingly. Good break. And we're hoping she broke clean. No guarantees that they do, but this is a good sign. This is probably going to be 100%. There's 14 SCU right there, 100%. That's a good one right there. This may also be close. Okay, that's a 68%er. This is going to be nothing. Great Peter says, I saw the red thing too, but I think it was a dead body marker. Oh yeah, there's, if that's what you're seeing on my screen, I do have for some reason a dead body marker. I didn't die. Well, I did die, but it wasn't, actually I did die. But it was before, the marker was there before I died. That's so funny. I didn't die. Yeah, oh yeah, I did die. So this one didn't break up super clean. Obviously that's not bad right there. I mean, that's gonna be, 15 SCU right there of Quantanium. But the rest of it didn't break up that clean. There's a 7%er there, and a 68%er there. So we are going to have to break up the 7%er as well. We do have a 60%er there. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll break these guys up. And see how we do. Got her fired there, the Brant, bringing it right down into easy range. %, keeping it, holding it right in there. Yeah, I've had this, like, as soon as I logged on, I had like this I died marker thing, and I'm like, I didn't die, but then I did die. I remember earlier in the stream I died, and it was funny. The elevator killed me. The elevators killed me a lot. Yeah, 7%. All right, I'll 7%er. I'll break you. No problem. I mean, you gotta, there's a few more percent in there. I've got to grab it, right? Got about 20 seconds, or 17 seconds left on this brand. We should be able to get this break in. And hopefully just fire one brand for the other two as well, and then just clean them up. Okay, here we go. Couple more. Oh boy, don't come over that far, dude. All right, cool. All right, we'll just kind of get this guy dialed in just right. Great Peter says, I preempted you. That is awesome. Yeah, that thing, I don't know, I think, Gray, maybe you mentioned that you've had one of those as well. It's kind of a weird deal, Prince says, I'm using the Surge Torrent 3 Focus and Focus 3 module. Is that good for mining Quant? Well, if you're having a good experience mining Quant with that, then heck yeah. I mean, if you think it's been a little bit tough for you to, I'm definitely a Lancet Brant guy. Those bring the instabilities down for Quant so much. I mean, they just basically really do just kind of turn off the danger a lot. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still dangerous, but Prince, I mean, a lot of people don't want to run into rocks that they can't crack, so using those surges is important. A Torrent 3 and a Focus 3, obviously the nice thing is you don't have to, they don't have consumables, so you don't have to replace those types of things. But I'm definitely an FLTR-XL and Brant guy for the most part. Now, I'm running 3 Brants right now because I hit a snag with the FLTR-XL, I think. All right. We'll begin pulling this in, this first 15 SCU for sure. Alrighty. I'll know this is a hundo as well. Not going to have that luxury for all these rocks, but a couple of these for sure. I definitely know we're hundos. Sure, this is going to be a hundo here as well. 99.99, we'll take it. Mulligan hundo. Oh boy. I'm not sure. Not sure I should be able to crack myself up that way. That is a 4%. We'll come back to that if, you know, trash and that one. Hundo right there. We'll pull that guy on board. I'm a Surge Stampede FLTR-XL myself. Yeah, different people definitely like using different modules. That's a for sure thing. You know, and I just kind of use what I like. I really do like the brand, the FLTR-XL brand. That's just kind of, that's what I like using. Now I do know that we're going to be putting together a spreadsheet and trying out lots of different. Well, I shouldn't say we. 8 has already put together, I think, a spreadsheet. You know, in our organization, and has you know, we're going to be doing some testing with the variety of different. You know, different laser heads, different consumables, different passives, and really doing a lot of testing here over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we'll be able to share some of that with you guys. Okay, that's nothing. I knew we weren't going to get a perfect uni anyway, so didn't break clean enough. That's a 64%er. It's a 78%er. Mr. Zai says, we're currently fighting all the crims on our server, having a bunch of fun here. Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing. Nice. You guys, you got some criminals on the ropes there, 14? 88%er. Yeah, this didn't break super clean. That's awesome. 62%er. Yeah, so this didn't break up clean at all. So we got to just start pulling on what we got to pull on. It is what it is. We'll definitely just kind of deal with it. We'll take the 8 first. I think there was a 78 after that. We'll grab that guy next. We're still doing really good. We just broke 25, 26 SCU, 27 SCU. Nothing. That's a 48. There's a 64. There's a 62. We're going to grab out of the 64. This is going to top us off. This is going to be a 29 potentially SCU run. Yeah, a little over 29, 29 and a half SCU run. So we're definitely proud of that. We're going to go ahead and clear route. I will, yep. Oh, my stars, I think Star Citizen just crashed. Hold on just a second, you guys. Let me be right back. I'm relaunching Star Citizen. That is interesting that that happened. I haven't had that happen before in a while. So hang in there with me. I'm going to try and come back and pull this out of the fire here. This is going to be very interesting. So one of those things, it does happen from time to time. I'm trying to load back into the game. I'm going to try and get back into the prospector and pull this out of the fire. So we're loading the game now. Give me just a second. We'll be back in. And, you know, I just had a hard crash the desktop. So it's it happens from time to time. That's Star Citizen in a nutshell. And, you know, it happens. We just got to go ahead and try and get back into the game, get back into the pilot seat, and see if we can't get lucky and have it, you know, have us get right back in there. So hang in there. It'll be just a sec. I actually don't think that looks as good as it could. Let me check that out. Let me snap that out for you. Boom. Okay. I'm just loading into the game now. Alrighty, I'm going back into the universe now. And we're crossing our fingers. We just want to hope that we can get into the... we had just finished. There's still probably plenty of time. This is an excellent thing for people to see. I mean, this happens, right? Now, it's no guarantee I'm going to get it in there. I mean, we've lost a couple of minutes for sure. But let's just go ahead and give it our best and see if we can't make it happen. So this is us just kind of digging it out. I'm hoping to get right back into my prospector seat. I'm in my prospector seat. I'm spooling up. We're setting CRUL1. And I'm spooling. I will pull out the mining laser. I still got the Quantanium on board. We are now just kind of spooling and heading towards CRUL1. The most important thing is you try and get back into the game as quick as possible. A lot of times you'll wind up right back in your ship. And so you just gotta, you gotta have a little bit of luck. You gotta keep your fingers crossed. Do not panic when these things happen. worst case scenario, you have to, reclaim a prospector. You don't want to have to do that, but it is what it is. So lots of times I've been kicked out of my ship. I come back to my ship. It happens. And I'm really, honestly, when these types of things happen, I'm really happy to be able to demonstrate and share them with you. It's one of those things. You can work through this problem. You just have to work it sometimes. St. Stephen says, anyone else having an issue with aUEC disappearing from your account? Yes, St. Stephen, that is a well-known issue. Chris Bates says that was close. It was close. We're not out of the woods yet, you guys. We're probably going to hear first alarm going off a little sooner than normal. And, of course, all those things can happen. So, just keep your cool. But yeah, I have heard that some people then log into like like an Aussie server, or some people log into an EU server, or they bounce to a different server cluster. Some people do a character reset to get their money back. So it's a thing for sure. So hang in there. Worst case scenario, try a character reset. Also, you can sometimes email support, and I know that somebody was saying in the channel the other day they emailed support and support helped them. So, all right, well, we've got a couple of another couple of million KM to get over to CRUL1. And listen, hard crashes are something that it happens in Star Citizen now and then. We count our blessings. We try and stay as stable as possible. And so we're going to come out of here. We're going to definitely spool up and get our second quantum out. We definitely want to put this guy on the ground, land safe, and get this guy in the hopper. So that's really our goal here at this point, is to kind of pull this guy out of the flames a little bit, and whistle past the graveyard. All right, so it's about 100,000 or so to go here. I'm going ahead and sipping a little bit. Beautiful. We're coming up first quantum right now, and we're going to go ahead and spool up for second quantum. Love it. Still in pretty good shape. We're going to want to move at a pretty reasonable clip here. Definitely up around 300 or 400. I really kind of putting the pedal down. Now, we still haven't heard first alarm. Now, I don't know if first alarm is going to be interrupted by the fact. I mean, it certainly could be a situation where first alarm's not going to happen just gracefully because of the way that things worked. I don't necessarily know that. So we're just going to bring this in. We're going to store it. We're going to try and work the problem as best we can. So we're coming in. We're definitely not on, if you can see, I'm flying towards the station, but not at the station. It's one of those things, really, I try and do my best about. Sometimes I'm not great. I get lost in the chat and crash into the station. Not a great idea. That's a surefire way to mess up your profits. And so I'm going to go ahead and get ready to call. I'm going to pull out my gear. I'm going to rotate my VTOLs. I did call. I am kind of.
Proceed to assigned landing bay.
I've been sent to this particular pad quite a bit, so we're going to kind of assume that that's where they were going to send us. There's first alarm. That's an actual good sign. We're not, first alarm going off right here is not a bad thing. It does kind of give me the idea that we're still in the game here. And we'll just kind of take it easy. Even with first alarm, we still have plenty of time to get this in and run down there. As long, obviously we could get killed by the old elevator again. You never know. But things are how they are. So you just gotta kind of deal with it as it goes. All right. Slowing down here a little bit. We just want to set her down nice and soft on the pad if we can. The alarm terrifies me. I hear what you're saying for sure. Bring her down nice and soft. Perfect. We'll do our post. And I do my post, you know, I don't never worry about it too much. We'll go ahead and turn off the engines. We'll back out of the sea. Sandy Claus says, just got attacked running cargo on Walla. Got away. Yeah, I can appreciate that, Sandy. You know, there are definitely... NPCs are out today, and so are some other folks. Gravedigger says, the mining guide had "Don't Panic" written in big letters on the cover. Yeah. Great. I mean, the one way to get yourself in trouble in a hurry is... And for problems to compound on each other is to kind of lose it. You know, you lose it, then you just kind of do things where, you know. Now, I'm going to try and tuck myself in a corner here, and hopefully we're... I think this is what somebody was saying. I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm scared. Is the elevator going to kill me? I called it a couple times. It did. It pushed me right out in there again. Look at that. Silly thing. I'm definitely just kind of in who knows where. So this is where people say, go back to menus. I've heard that. So maybe I'll just try it. You know what I mean? I'm just going to exit the menu from here. I don't know. I'll just try it. Hopefully my ship's not in claim. The last time I just backspaced and it wasn't in claim, so it'll be interesting to see. You know, and it's okay. I mean, obviously, you know, it's one of those things. Let's just kind of go right back into the game. Some people did recommend going back to menus. I was going to say, don't stand next to it. Flying for fun, you know what? I appreciate that. It's gotten me a couple times tonight. St. Stephen says, that's happened to me too. If I find I push the button and stand back up to the vapor barrier, doesn't get me. Dirt Dog says, stand on the other side of the barrier at the elevator. That's probably a good idea. Braden, welcome to the channel, Braden, says, I call the elevator, then run for my life. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. Michael says, missing aUEC is back-end service that handles that. They're working on that issue and restart. So if you see no aUEC for a bit, okay, so let's go down and see. Hopefully my ship's not in claim. I did call for landing. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, it could be. So exit menu should store your ship. So we'll see, you guys. I mean, you know, kind of a comedy of different issues there, but no big deal. So yeah, that's very interesting, Michael. Thank you for that. You know, kind of advice. Missing aUEC is a back-end service that handles that. They're working on the issues and restarts. So if you see no aUEC for a bit, for the servers to restart. So interesting. I really appreciate you sharing that, Michael, for sure. Dirt Dog, welcome to the channel as well. Not a name I recognize. Flying for Fun, not a name I recognize. You guys, thank you so much for offering, you know, contributions tonight. I really do appreciate it. You know, and I'm always asking, you know, tonight in particular, if you can like and sub, if you love to like the mining content, for sure. Let's go ahead and see if we got lucky here. So we got the Prospector. It is in store, so that's perfect, you guys. Beautiful. So, you know, so we had a crash the desktop while we're on our last run into Halo. We recovered. We got right back into the game. We immediately were in the Prospector seat. We flew back. We then had the elevator take us out for a second time tonight. But we just kind of went back to menus and logged back in, and we're just groovy. So, you know what, guys? That's just, you know, Star Citizen. It is what it is. You know, these things happen on a semi-regular basis. I love this game. I don't care. Honestly, it's one of those things you just have to kind of stick with it, dig in. You know, there's been lots of times I've lost things or things didn't work out. You just kind of get back on your horse and go back after it again. So, love Star Citizen. So, yeah. So, elevator time, like and sub for sure. Hit the notification bell. Please do come and share. You know, I really appreciate you guys kind of coming out toward there at the end and kind of offering, you know, Flying, Dirt Dog, Braden, Michael, 4 names, you know, right off the, like, names I don't recognize, please, you know, or aren't necessarily on the channel, you know, regular, maybe doing a little more lurking. I really appreciate you guys contributing, truly. Movies says, Is the elevator thing a 3.17.1 thing? No, it's 3.17 in general movies. When I was testing the PTU 3.17, I was just getting creamed all the time by it.
Hey, back again, I see.
You know, and it is what it is. I mean, it's actually kind of funny. I mean, it doesn't bother me. So here we are, through all the types of adversity, no big deal. Another Dynex Salvination. We'll get that quote. We'll confirm it. And we will kind of do some final numbers for you guys tonight. It's been an excellent stream. We have done some excellent numbers. So we got a 3025. Then we had a 3130 uni. Then we had a 3131. You know, uni. And then we had a 2462. And then we had a 2889. That is 14,637. 14,637 times 88 is going to be 1.3 million aUEC in about 3 hours or so, maybe 4. I think 4 is what we ended up streaming tonight. So here's the way that I like to do these outros here. You know what? I wanted to thank you all for joining me tonight. I absolutely adored the Aaron Halo tonight. I always like to say the coffee was fantastic, the Quantanium was great, the conversation was way better. You guys who come here and contribute on a regular basis make this stream so fun to do. I learn so much from you. And so be careful with the refinery elevator on the left side. Dirt Dog, you're absolutely right. I know that one on the left side in particular has been, it's got me a bunch of times. I have really had a lot of fun tonight. I wish I had a little bit more time. Unfortunately, I don't. I am going to have to take off. But in 4 hours, we did 1.3 million aUEC. Now, a little, you know, obviously I have a little bit of fuel costs and that type of thing, but a very solid evening. I do wish you all the very best. Have a lovely start of your week. I will definitely be putting out a lot more videos and be looking forward to helping you guys with anything mining related, any kind of theory crafting as well. Great, Peter, get some rest, my friend. All of you guys take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time, and I will see you all around the verse.